morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, so let's try to go full screen. Let us go full screen.
Denise, Trump 2020, Loretta.
Oh,
Where'd we go?
Yeah, what's happening here? Oh. Will it work if we... Okay, won't go full screen.
She's over here messing with stuff, guys, and I don't know what she's doing.
Okay, well, I guess that's all we can do. I don't know. We're going live from StreamYard because YouTube hasn't... I don't know. We can't go live from YouTube yet. I'm not sure, but either way,
here we are.
Yeah.
Going live.
Yep. So good morning, all. I hope everybody's having a good Monday today. I know it's kind of weird to be here Monday morning, but here we are.
Hello, Cynthia.
I'm Denise and Trump 2020, Loretta. Good morning, everybody. So, as the thumbnail said, unscripted, unfiltered.
Right, here we are.
Yeah. Yep.
Haven't really, done much this morning.
Hey, Beverly, all I did was screw up breakfast.
She didn't screw up breakfast. The milk that we had, with how many times a day the fridge gets into to get cold water, to get food out, it doesn't always stay cold like it should, so the milk went bad. And Jen made biscuits and gravy that
didn't realize it was bad.
That we can't eat because it was made with sour milk.
Yeah,
so she's a little upset about that.
Yeah.
It makes for a rough morning when stuff starts out the day like that.
I don't like wasting food, And I'm like, ugh. And I spent like an hour and a half cooking, and I was like, ugh.
Right?
Double.
And we were all excited that it was going to be done before we had to go live because, we're hungry.
And the kids are going to be, we're hungry, and the kids are going to get hungry pretty quick. And so we set one of the teenagers on making breakfast, and we'll see.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Get powdered milk for emergency ladies. We have powdered milk, but I just prefer not to use it. Yeah. And I already done ruined all of it, so ain't no using powdered milk gonna
fix it.
Yeah. We have powdered milk. It's only for emergencies because that's how much I don't like it.
Right. We just didn't have the time to remake anything before we got on the live.
Yeah. So good morning, Helen and Judy and Auntie Emma. Good morning. Elia, good morning. Karen, good morning. Erica, good morning. So, yeah. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. You know what? Y'all are just going to deal with it.
I was going to say,
because I don't want to mess it up.
We have a tendency of having technical difficulties when it comes to lives.
Yeah. And just so you know, for some reason, on our screen on the phone, we are correct. But then on the computer, we're backwards. The flag is not hanging backwards. It's hanging correctly. Camera is making it look backwards.
Right, and it is driving me crazy, actually, looking at the camera where we're correct and then the screen where we're not. I'm like, oh.
So how does it look on your guys' side? Is the flag hanging the right way, or does it look backwards? Because I should be on the left and Amber should be on the right.
Yeah.
And we're flipped. Yeah, weird. Sorry to hear about the milk. It sucks.
Yeah.
But that's why we use a different refrigerator for the drinks than the food too, because last summer we had an entire fridge and freezer of food go bad because it was cold. I mean, it was hot, and we wanted cold drinks, but yeah. So it happened. I'm kind of ready for cooler weather just so that the fridges don't have to work so hard. Most people that have air conditioning, their house stays, probably about 65 to 75 degrees all the time. And so your fridge doesn't really have to work that hard. When it's super hot and we don't have air conditioning, our fridge has to work way harder. So, yep. Flag looks correct on my end. Awesome.
They left out a letter there.
Yeah. Yeah, Helen, are you trying to start something? Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Hey there.
Oh. Are you working today? So yeah. I'm glad that the flag looks like it's hanging correctly because, after the fact, after the live streams, people leave comments that are like, why is your flag backwards? It's not. The camera's back. The camera makes it look backwards. But you know what? If we wanted to hang our flag backwards, then we can do that.
Right? Because it's
our flag, our house. You want to hang yours upside down? I don't care. At your house. I know they all have meanings. I do not know what they all mean, though.
Right? That's just too much for me to remember. I've got my own stuff to remember.
Yeah. So, the live is unscripted and unfiltered. So, the topics will depend on pretty much what you guys bring up. What y'all want to talk about? I know there's lots of stuff out there that we've been dying to discuss.
Right, now that we actually have a few people in here.
Yeah. Wahaha. Morning, Stuart. How are you? Or Gina. Hello, Gina. I should have known. I just read the name first. I watched the memorial Charlie Kirk and was so moved with his widow's speech and forgiveness. Y'all, I do not know how that woman was crying and talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I cannot do that. I would not have been able to get up there and did what she had done. We watched that and it made me cry because I'm an emotional wreck. And everything pulls at my heartstrings. Amber's got a hardened heart and she never cries. So.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Earlier, she was like, you want me to punch you in the face and give me a reason to cry?
We grew up in the time where if you were crying for no good reason, then our dad was like, get over here so I can give you something to cry about. And we all knew what that meant.
Yeah.
So I figure with me, it worked. With Jen, all that you have to do is like step on a butterfly and she'll cry.
Oh, the poor butterfly. Its life wasn't done yet. You murdered it. You evil, horrible person. I am. Yeah. I get it from our dad. Our dad's pretty emotional too, I guess. In his older years.
Very emotional.
Let's see. So Lynn, yeah, that was very, very moving. There was a lot of people there. I think our uncle had said that he was gonna go. But I didn't see him in the audience. There are too many faces. How do I scroll back up? Okay. Trump 2020 said, mine was upside down for 4 years during the Biden era. I don't blame you. Those were some rough times. I cannot believe all the crap that they got away with. On one of the channels, they have a commercial of a lovely memory of Kirk. Yeah. Have y'all seen their love story? It's very sweet. Flag flying backwards mean you are deployed away from home. Huh. Did not know that. Morning, Salty Stang. How's it going, man? Good Lord was with her. Amen. Yes, he was. For her to get up there and say that she forgives that shooter, that was huge.
Yeah, that is something I do not think I'd be able to do.
Yeah. I sure couldn't do it. Yeah, me neither. Upside down also reflects the world is in distress.
I like to think of myself as a forgiving kind of person, but I don't know if I'd be that forgiving.
Not that soon.
Yeah. Not that quick. I'd have a hard time doing that. I mean, she's a very strong woman.
Yeah, she is. Auntie Emma, I'm overflowing with empathy. Because I cried. It's so bad. Morning, Kim. Howdy. Grocery shopping topic, waste of food stamps. Hey. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Wiley and I were talking about that last night. Unpopular opinion or popular opinion, I don't know. But food stamps should be used for nutritional food. If someone else is buying your food for you, which is what food stamps is, you should respect other people's hard-earned money and spend it wisely. I don't believe that you should be spending it to, buy things for yourself that they can't afford for themselves. So that's where I stand on that.
Right.
Those contemporary Christian rock bands rocked that place. It was awesome as well. See, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched her speech. We were at church yesterday when it was going on, and then we got home and we were doing stuff, so I didn't have time to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I had started watching it yesterday, and then my phone refreshed, and I couldn't find it.
That's Google for you. Trump 2020, amen. Charlie XOXO. I don't think I could either. The forgiveness is for her, right? Amen, Kim. Yes. Yeah, because when you refuse to forgive people, it only eats at you. They don't care if you forgive them or not. Right. Their goal was to hurt you, and so by not forgiving them, you're really giving them what they want.
Yeah, I mean, just to say those words out loud would be so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you can tell that she's crying throughout the whole speech.
Mm-hmm. And she got a standing ovation for that too.
Yeah, but she, didn't crack once. I'd be gasping for air, I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely could not have.
That would be
done that.
So difficult.
Let's see. Morning, Anna. Did you feel there was too much political talk during the memorial? I didn't watch it, but I mean, I like debating politics, so it wouldn't have bothered me. But they gave a beautiful memorial for Charlie. A lot of people spend them at the gas station, right? Mm-hmm. We need all illegal off our programs.
Yes.
I can agree with that too.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. You don't need to come to our country and siphon our systems dry that are meant for citizens. Come here the right way. If then you fall on hard times, then so be it. But do it the right way, and don't let that be the reason that you come here is to get free stuff.
Right. Just like last week, I was talking to Jen about how boring my, food stamps get spent. Every time it's just chicken and 20-pound bag of rice.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets food stamps. I don't. We don't. We would probably qualify, but I don't.
I'm not proud of the fact that I get food stamps, but I honestly would have a very hard time without them right now. I don't make nearly enough to be able to, buy enough food for my children every month without assistance from food stamps.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't go out and buy it on or spend it all on junk food.
No.
I think the closest thing to junk food that I get is
rice.
Bacon or
rice.
Yeah.
Not even, it takes practice every day. And I mean, amen, Kim. I need you to be one of those friends of mine of mine, because sometimes, y'all, I can be a little insensitive. And after watching that food stamp video over again, I can understand why people, someone had told me that I was just really judgmental. And I was like, I can kind of see it. I'm sorry that you got offended. I'm not really sorry you got offended, because being offended is a choice. You choose to take things that way. But at the same time, I do not want my tongue to cut like a knife. I do not want to be hateful or mean or judgmental. That is not how you lead people to Christ. And that is not my intention at all. But I realize that I am an imperfect person. I am one of those people that knows I need Jesus in my life. So Kim, please. And don't ever feel like what you're going to say is going to hurt my feelings, because although it might sting for a second and I might be like, ooh, ow, that hurt a little bit, I'm going to reflect on what you said, and I am going to try to be a better person for it. So, and that goes for everybody in here. Hold me accountable. Don't let me get away with being an ugly person, because that's not who I want to be. And sometimes we don't realize that we're being that way until someone calls us out on it, and just do it from the right place in your heart and do it in a respectful way. Don't come at me sideways, because when you come at people sideways, that they don't want to listen. Anyway, speaking of food stamps, let's talk about the illegals having EBT cards with 20K. I know, that is stupid. That is so stupid.
It's insane how the illegals get way more help than the people that actually are poor.
They get free health care. They were getting free hotel rooms in like nice hotels with room service and didn't even have to clean up after themselves, you know, and they were getting food stamps and they were getting free money to buy cars, and a lot of them self-deported with car payments that those, you know, and that adds to another thing is because our banking system, which I'm not really a fan of anyway, but our banking system, that could cause it to collapse again, because now you have all these people that aren't making their payments that just took their stuff back to to Mexico or whatever. And do they have authority there to go pick up the car? I do not know. But they are not going to get their money. And then, you know, we're going to be stuck paying for it because the government, and I don't know about the current administration, but I know our government in the past, since I've been an adult, has been really good at bailing out the banking system when they make bad choices. And then you and I are stuck paying other people's bills because they ran off and didn't pay. The debate and people throwing fits that kids deserve treats obviously don't know how to bake or even do no-bake goodies. Right. And you know what? Is there an amendment in the Constitution that says that you have a right to junk food or a right to sweets? No, there is not. There's not even a right to eat. It's something that we all have to do, but it is not a right. It is a privilege to get junk food. And whenever our kids want something sweet, I'm like, here's a cookbook. We got flour, sugar, egg, salt. You know, we have all the staples. Go figure out how to make something. And you know what? Hunter's been making some of the best donuts I've ever had, and I don't even like donuts. Yeah, you have no rights if you're an illegal, right? That is for American citizens. And see, Emma, I agree. You shouldn't get any assistance unless you're a citizen. But you know why they do it? And this is probably really going to make some people mad. But the reason they do it is because the Democrats have been importing their voters forever. Americans have been waking up to the signs and don't want to vote for them anymore. That's why their party is in shambles. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to say that every single Democrat is bad or whatever. I'm just saying that is where that party is headed, and that's why they have like a 20% or less approval rating right now. And that's why, since the death of Charlie Kirk, that all of these people have been switching sides. Now, I'm an independent. I've always been an independent ever since I was 18 and could register, because I could, even at that time, I was not political. I could see that both sides sucked. And so I've always tried to stay in the middle. But I feel like I'm still in the middle with a lot of people, and the left has just moved way over here. The right's still over here. The left is like way over there. Totally, completely unrecognized. But, you know, one good way to get people to like you is to give them free things, you know?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
I couldn't get it to come in. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I might have like squirreled off too far. The Democrats all want free healthcare, still not happening. And so, you know, it sounds super nice when you say, oh, free healthcare, nobody has to worry about medical bills anymore.
Nothing.
You know, all these elderly people that can't afford their medications, they don't have to suffer anymore. Well, guess what? There's programs in place for the people that really, really need it. But when you give free healthcare, then you end up like places like Canada, where they have free healthcare, but they take, you know, an ungodly amount of your taxes. I'm talking, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have the stats in front of me, but you know, they take like 45% or more of your taxes as income tax. And then that means that you and I, or the Canadian, you know, citizens, are paying for the healthcare that they don't even use. And then when you do need to go to a doctor, it's likely to be 6 months or a year or more out till you can get a doctor's appointment. You're likely to die waiting. Free healthcare is not all it's cut up, you know. all it's like cut out to be. This was a celebration of life, and Charlie loved debating politics and getting to the other side of things, so it didn't bother me at all. Like I said, I enjoy that kind of thing, but I wasn't able to watch the whole thing just because yesterday after we got home from church, I didn't have time to watch it. We were actually working and getting things done. So, but I do want to watch it because I know a lot of the speakers that were there, and I watch them, a lot of them on a regular basis. So I'd really like to hear what they had to say. Why should we have to learn their language? Hell, they're coming to our country. They should have to learn to speak English. Right. Do we go visit Mexico or Guatemala and expect them all to learn English because we're too stupid to know their language or didn't do our homework? No, that is not how it works. Right, Amber?
That's right. If I were planning to go to another country, you best bet I'd learn that language before I went there.
Or, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least enough to ask for order food and know where the bathroom's at, you know?
Right. Maybe enough to know when people are making fun of me or not.
Mm-hmm. Learn all the bad
some
words.
very choice words to send back their way.
Right? It's good, Amber. You deserve them. Some don't work and just collect. Yeah, well, Amber makes some money. It just isn't enough yet. So,
yeah.
And when it becomes enough, then I'm sure that she'll.
Yeah, no, it's not like I want to be on, any kind of assistance. I hate the idea of having to be on assistance. It makes me feel like I'm not, well, the obvious that I'm not fully taking care of my family like I, want to. But, with the way that the world is nowadays, it's kind of hard to.
So bright. It's hurting my eyes.
It's kind of hard to do it all yourself. So I'm getting there.
Yeah. Trump is on the news now speaking about Kirk's memorial. I'll have to go back and watch that later. Or listen to it when I can find time. I don't qualify for food stamps, and I'm struggling to make $100 a month stretch. I can't wait till things start turning around. Laura, I know, I can completely relate to that, except we spend, I don't know, we probably have less than $100 to spend per month on each person. Yeah. And we make it work by eating a lot of chicken and rice and beans and potatoes and growing a garden. And that is how we make it stretch. And it sucks because a lot of times we feel like we're eating the same thing over and over and over again. Chicken and potatoes, chicken and rice, pork and potatoes, pork and rice, chicken and potatoes, chicken and rice, all over and over and over. It could be chicken rice, it could be Spanish rice, it could be plain rice, it can be, that's all we got.
Yeah.
So I get it. I can't wait until things start going down. Erica said, I get $129 in food stamps and I make it last all month. I only buy the basics to make a meal. Erica, and
exactly. That's how they should be spent.
Yeah, that's how they should be spent.
I mean, I do have to say that I bought some extra cheese so I can make some homemade cheese crackers.
But... Yeah. Well, that's another thing is that cheese has gotten so much that we love cheese. But we don't get it very often because it just costs too much. And that sucks. But yeah. Hey Greg, good morning. Good morning. You at work? People are not happy with your channel. Go bye-bye. Right.
Exactly. You don't have
and
to
that's
watch.
The thing is that we have the right to freedom of speech, which is also the freedom to say stupid things or put our foot in our mouth or, whatever. Everybody has that right. And the thing is that the people in the middle to the right side, and, I'm saying people in the middle, you might be Democrat on that, but not like far, far left. But you don't see the people over here trying to shut you up. They're not trying to censor you. They're not trying to shut you up. They can agree to disagree. It's the people on the other side, the far left, that's like, if you don't agree with me, then you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a homophobe, a transphobe, all the stupid things that they call people. Those words have absolutely no meaning to me anymore. But I mean, you can say whatever you want. You have that right, literally. It is actually our First Amendment. It's not, I'm just
It says it right there, plain as day.
right. It's the very first one. I'm disabled and living on a fixed income. I applied for assistance with food and got turned down. The day I applied, an illegal family got help. How can someone who isn't a citizen get what I can't? Amen, Auntie Emma.
Exactly.
Got notification on wrong live chat. Huh, Eric? Good morning. They ought to bring back commodities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't always have all of the information, but I believe, so commodities, we used to get commodities as kids, but you get canned meat, you get canned vegetables, you get canned fruit, you get that like government block of cheese, powdered milk, those kinds of basics. But then they went to food stamps, it used to be paper food stamps. They went to the food stamps to make it more convenient so people could actually shop for things that they would use. I get it, because of one of the main reasons we don't like go to food banks or anything is because it's usually highly processed junk that we don't eat anyway. So we're not going to take it from other people that would actually use it. But then they started allowing, the food, the big food, the junk food companies like General Mills and all of those, they got in there and they're like, oh, hey, you should let us, you should approve it to where you can buy all this junk and then Hershey's and then, no, it should be for meat, vegetables, canned goods, dry goods, dairy products or whatever. Like, yeah. We have awesome administration now. I think our administration is doing good. I do think that there are some bad apples in the bunch that are stopping it from doing all that it is set out to do. But I do like a lot of the things that I am seeing with the current administration. Are you ready for me to come on screen? Sure, Kim, if you want to come, you just have to go click on that link. I'm not showing that you're in here. Let me see if I can. Oh, there's the invite link. But I think you'll pop up down here when you are ready. I am gonna do Kim and Helen. I would like to keep it to one guest at a time because I don't like hearing people talk over each other, and sometimes with the lag, it's hard to not do that. So I'm gonna add Kim. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Oh, I got them on the other side too.
Oh yeah, I forgot I gotta turn this up. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the. Hopefully that doesn't. I didn't even think about the audio being messed up, but hopefully it doesn't mess up the audio, guys, for her to be on here. Let me know if it's weird.
And you were saying something about you didn't want somebody to come up or something right away. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that I would like to have one guest at a time.
Okay.
Because there's a lag in the playback of the video, and I don't want. It drives me crazy when people talk over each other, and I know I'm bad sometimes about interrupting.
No,
but I don't.
Never.
I don't do it on purpose. I just need more practice.
Oh no, you're perfectly good at it. You don't need more practice.
Auntie Emma, same way. My aunt and I, they were giving her $25 a month and then took it away. That's crazy, Janice, because what are you supposed to do with $25 a month? All they're doing is paying you $25 a month to give them all of the information about you. It's not worth it for me for $25 a month to give out all of my information every couple of months to tell you every single thing about my life. I'm good. When you're on government assistance, the government has some sort of control over you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amen, Greg. Amen. Illegals should get nothing that is taxpayer funded, no food, no medical, no housing, and no education, right? Yeah, Democrats are the devil. A lot of them are. AOC for prison. I can stand behind that. Throw Ilhan Omar in there with her too.
Sorry, ladies. I had a phone call I had to get rid of.
Oh yeah, no problem. You're good. No problem. I'm gonna scroll. Sorry, I'm missing some of these, but wow, Lynn, that sucks. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the chat, and then Kim, you have topics you want to talk about?
A little bit about the food stamps. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Give us your 2 cents on it.
Okay, so I was on food stamps like way back in the day. Okay, when they were actually paper food stamps. And
Yep.
I would take those, and sounds very horrible, but in order to get to work, I would take them and buy a pack of gum, get change until I had like $3 to put in my gas tank. That's how poor we were. I mean, because it's like you got like $200 in cash, and that didn't cover rent, you know?
Right.
So it was bad. And I mean, today, this day and age, you know, it's only worse. But, you know, for the most part, I agree that, you know, people should, sorry, saying, you know, a lot. I can't read messages, or I guess I don't need to.
You go ahead and just talk. And as I'm going through the comments and I'm listening, I'm just going to put them at the top or the bottom of the chat or the bottom of the screen so that everybody knows that I'm reading them.
Okay.
But if there's any questions, I'll stop you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so that I haven't been on food stamps. And then it was really strange too. I'm in California, as you know.
Mhm.
And
not everybody knew that, but
yeah, true.
it's
So
one of the best places in the US, guys.
Oh God.
not even
missed
close. No. It's if I could get out of here, I really would. I would. But for crying out loud, sorry.
You get for being a working woman.
So, you know, if I could get out of here, like I said, I would. But it's I'm kind of stuck. I've got kids here, you know, and
Oh yeah.
they don't want to. My one son cannot leave. I don't even know when he's going to be able to. But I do have a daughter or a granddaughter. I keep calling her my daughter because I raised her in Magazine, Arkansas.
Right, not too far from us, actually.
Yeah, she's got a baby that's 3 months old. I think she's a little bit younger than your little baby Amber.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
Yeah.
just by a few months, but yeah, I can't believe how quick they grow.
Right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Squirrel. Total
Yeah,
squirrel.
that's all right. Lola.
But then I got a notice after I got food stamps. I got a notice that I owed like $1,400 back, and I was getting like $56 a month. So that taught me a huge lesson because I had to pay all that money back. So every time when I was on that, because I had my granddaughter, so I got food stamps for my granddaughter, but I still had to prove my income and my rent, and well, back then it was mortgage because I was buying a home. And so I took everything I took in there, I got copies of and brought back. So if anybody is on aid of any kind, get copies, get somebody to stamp what you turn in, like they receive that, and then get copies of what you turned in. That's going to save you a lot if they ever come back with, California is notorious for, oh, we didn't get that. And then you're like, what in the heck did I even write on that? I know I worked, but I don't know how many hours I worked. And this was before computers, you know, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they still do that same nonsense there in California. It's ridiculous. It was
Isn't
like
it?
every time I had to do my renewal, I didn't receive that. I'm like, no, I know for a fact. I'd end up sending stuff like 3-4 times before they'd finally receive. I'm like, seriously? I'm like, you guys are ridiculous.
Oh, they are ridiculous too. And it's like I know it sounds like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I swear to God, they're out to get you. They really are.
I'm 100% a conspiracy theorist.
They just
Only they're going to have to start calling us something different because all the things are coming true.
Yeah, no more is it a theory.
Right. Yeah, it's not a theory anymore.
So are we conspiracy acknowledgers?
Yeah. Ooh, beans and sausage actually sounds good today. It's kind of rainy outside. I suck at cooking rice. Practice makes perfect, Helen.
Keep on trying.
Yeah, keep on trying. You'll get it eventually.
I don't know if I have many more years left to try.
You know, if you have electricity, they make rice cookers where you just put it in there and push a button and it comes out perfect every time.
Yeah.
I've ruined that. I have no idea how, but I did. Crazy.
We're cheeseaholics too. That's why we're going to learn how to make our own.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like I can still hear my phone, so I'm trying to turn it down. Every time I touch it, it goes off.
Oh, okay.
So what else are we talking about?
Healthcare. Everybody in the chat's talking about healthcare. So Greg gave a good example of the VA. So if you've served our country, then you get free healthcare, but it takes years to get anything done. Years. And there's a lot of vets that die waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Eric said, sorry, go ahead, Kim.
They have 1 foot in the grave.
Yeah. Eric said that Canada right now has 4 provinces that are wanting to leave the Dominion because of taxes and healthcare, but you are not seeing it on the news here. I have been seeing some stuff. It's I believe it's some of the western provinces of Canada that are wanting to leave. And I don't blame them at all. With their leadership, and then they just got someone that's worse than the guy before, I don't blame them for wanting to go. Bring back common sense, y'all.
It's so sad how uncommon common sense is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Universal health care means doctors actually trying to fix ailments instead of prescribing overpriced medications and expensive surgeries they don't really need. Imagine that. Oh, I can't really speak on that particularly, but I do know that doctors are not here to solve your problems. They're here to push another medication, and then they're going to give you more medications to counteract the side effects of first mentioned, medications. Can you speak on that, Kim?
I sure can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have blood pressure medication that makes me tired. So they gave me an antidepressant, which I needed the antidepressant, but that was supposed to give me energy. Okay, so that gave me anxiety. So then they won't give me medication for the anxiety because it's addictive, but they'll give me something that doesn't have anything to do with anxiety.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. We had taken Wiley to the doctor a couple months ago because he thought he had a blood clot in his leg. And the very first thing the nurse or whatever asked, she said, "Are you in pain?" And he said, "Yeah." She said, "Do you need pain medicine?" And he said, "Nope." And then before we left, she was trying to push several different medications on him. He's like, "No, I'm good." "Are you sure? Are you sure?" "Yeah, no, I'm sure. I don't want them. Thank you. You told me what I needed to know. Bye."
Yeah.
And, and I feel like I like my doctor that did my surgery, and I really like his nurses. They're just very personable and awesome. But I feel like I was kind of catfished into getting my back surgery, and I really, really regret it now.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like I was better off before I had it, and I wouldn't recommend other people doing it.
What kind of surgery, or what part of your back did you have surgery on?
My L5-S1, so your bottom, right where it meets and it was a spinal fusion. So where I could reset my sciatic joint on my own and make it feel better, even though it was only temporary, I can't do that now because now it's all one piece. And so I can't reset that where I could before to relieve the pain. Before I had, I would stretch. Our biological mom, had back surgery when we were young. I was a teenager and she wasn't quite a teenager yet. And she got addicted to opioids, and we lost our mom to opioids.
Long before she actually died, we lost her.
Yeah, she was gone long before she was actually gone. And it's sad, and that's way too common of a story these days. Way too common of a story.
We ended up with an amazing stepmom, though.
Yeah, we did. But her life was too short, too.
Oh.
Yeah, we only had her for a few years before she had passed away.
Yeah. That's so sad. That's horrible. So Jen, this is gonna blow your mind, but that's exactly the same spot that my back is messed up in. Same spot, and they don't. Thank God they don't want to do surgery because I won't let them anyway. But I have a ganglion lipoma, and it's basically has tentacles. It's like a fatty tissue tumor, and it has these tentacles going everywhere. So, and that's another reason they don't want to do surgery. But how weird is that? It's so crazy.
Yep. I ended up skipping. Yeah, the Democrat Party used to be for the working man, but it's totally changed. They literally do not want people to know how to think for themselves. Helen. Stay in the basement putting lotion on its skin, she said.
So is Helen ready to come up?
Helen's not here yet, but you don't have to stay if you. Yeah, I'll let you know if someone else comes in.
I'll just hang out. I've already blew people's mind. Apparently, somebody thought I was 70 with an apron on. I think it was Eric.
Yeah, Eric. Oh, dang it. I keep skipping. Hey, Katrina, good morning. We missed a lot of people.
Right.
Kim, you should be in Arkansas. Kim should be in Arkansas. But she's got family and, stuff in California. What are your thoughts on the Philippines rally against corruption? Some dude dressed as Batman is literally there. Goofy stuff. Kalama, is that how you say your name? I haven't heard anything about that.
Neither have I.
That is interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. But if they're rallying against corruption, I probably stand with them on general principles. Happened yesterday. That's why you didn't hear about it, because everybody's talking about the Charlie Kirk stuff. And so my news feed, that's all it's been. That's all it's been. My friend from Canada said that citizens from Canada have American insurance close to the USA. I wouldn't put that past them. Hey, Michelle, good morning. I prefer right so far to conspiracy theorists, right? I wear my tinfoil hat proudly. Helen. My dad, when food stamps first came out, went and he qualified for $10, but he had to pay days. But he had to pay days? What are you talking about? Look at how many of the veteran homesteaders we know fighting right now for their benefits. Yeah. Yep. A customer cured is a customer lost. Amen, Greg. They've been saying that they've had cures for cancer since like the 70s or longer. That's just nuts. Make common sense common again. Yep, I agree. Candy, I agree. I'm seeing a lot of new names in here. Thanks, guys. I regret mine too. Been through 3, and it's still no better. Janice, I won't do it again. If I do it, I'm going to have them remove my hardware, and then I'm going to tell them to leave me the heck alone. That's horrible. I agree. I had back and neck surgery. I wouldn't do it again if I could go back in time. I wouldn't either. I agree. Get off of prescription meds. If you eat healthy and exercise, your body will take care of itself. Yep, Pat. Yep, Matt. I don't take any prescription medication, thankfully. I mean, I probably should take some high blood pressure medicine, but I've done research on that, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'll just, try to eat healthier. Which, I mean, we don't eat a lot of processed stuff anyway. The other day, we did have chili dogs for dinner, and while it sounded really good, I instantly regretted it. My stomach hurt so bad afterwards. It sucked. For hours, I paid the price.
I went through stomach problems for like a few years, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And it turned out I was allergic to eggs.
Yep. I think our son was allergic to eggs. He used to love eggs, and he would eat them all the time, and then it started upsetting his stomach, so he had to quit eating them. How many fish are in a mess? Good morning, Barb. I have no idea. have no idea. So if you guys didn't know, MT Homestead, Mike and Terry, I believe Terry's recovering from surgery. So Mike, I tell her that we say hello and that we're praying for her, or she's about to. But Mike goes. Mike, is it on this channel or your other channel that you go live on Monday morning? I tried to set this late enough to where you guys would hopefully be done, so we weren't stepping on toes. Oh, we told the kids that if y'all need something, you better not. Watch out, Lola. I subbed to your channel too, Jen. Positively, Wiley's channel. Awesome. Thanks, Candy. We appreciate that. We've picked up a lot of subscribers in the last month. It's kind of crazy. I think it's because Wiley's back in the videos. He wants to deny it, but I think that's it. Corporate America is paying doctor kickbacks to prescribe meds. If we were universal, the docs get a flat rate no matter how many surgeries they perform, so they won't rush you into the ER to profit more. That's a good point. I do believe that the medical community, they get a lot of kickbacks from prescribing medications and stuff, and it definitely has an impact on, why don't they teach common sense and like diet and exercise? I have not had a doctor tell me that I needed that, or the reason I have high blood pressure is because I need to lose weight or exercise more. They have not told me that. They have not told me to eat better. And that makes me sad. Mike goes live Monday and Friday at 8:30 in the morning. Okay. Yep. That's what I was thinking. But that's is that on his Sergeant Talks TV channel?
Oh, Eric.
I think Tracy's allergic to eggs. Every time I eat, she gets sick. Ivermectin approved for humans in 1987, but not used because it's cheap. Today, there are a lot of info out there as it can be used for many cancers. Can be hard to Google because of Google police. Right, Judy? Yes, I actually recently looked for that on Google, and it was very hard to find. Oh, hey, David. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just have to meet up with you then. Okay. It's on MT Homestead. Okay. Cool. So, y'all, and he talks about a lot of the same stuff, I think. So, go hang out with Mike before this live stream on Mondays. I think we're going to make this a normal thing at 10 a.m. on Mondays for the foreseeable future. How you feeling, Terry? So, what else do you guys want to talk about? It's unfiltered and unscripted. So, I guess I could probably take that off the screen. That's been up there for a while. Amber, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Them damn kids.
Yeah, right. If y'all had perfect kids, you're either lying to yourself or lying to us.
Yeah.
Either way, you're lying.
My kids are crazy. They were crazy. They're still crazy. And my grandkids is just as crazy.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem yet. So
yeah.
Lucky duckies. Just wait. Just you wait. You think
Wiley, we have grandkids from Wiley's kids, but we don't see them very often.
Oh.
So they're perfect in our eyes. They don't ever do anything wrong because we don't ever see them do anything wrong.
Yeah, it makes it easier to believe that they're perfect when you don't see them that often.
Eric, you're a horrible liar. He said I was a perfect kid. Now I'm going to have to make notes so I know what topic to talk about. I have a couple things in the bag. Amber needs to talk about how to raise bail money. Amber's never been to jail, so
I don't know.
I don't think that she would know how to raise bail money. Probably not. I mean, taste one in the moment and see, but they're probably not good either. Dang stinking bad milk that I used this morning. I was trying to be prepared and have breakfast ready for the kids so that they weren't bugging us to be hungry while we're on the live stream. And I made biscuits and gravy and then realized that the milk I used was no good. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't need bail money because I don't look good in orange. Not over this.
Yeah. We just remind each other, you don't look good in orange. Or I can't bail you out. So act right.
Behave yourself.
David said yet. I gave my parents hell, got the whole shoe marks to prove it. Oh, you're having a surgery next Monday. Oh man, Terry. Dang. We will definitely be praying for you. She's got to have a hysterectomy. They found a fibroid and several small ones on her uterus. Oh man. Bearded Granny, good morning, said, yep, my doctor put me on antidepressants like 40 years ago, and I started dreaming of ways to off myself, and I woke up straight out of the dream and decided I wasn't taking that garbage anymore, right?
Yeah, no,
that's actually one of the main side effects. Hey, that brings up something we could talk about. The Trump administration just signed I don't know if it's in effect yet, or if it was a proclamation or a bill, I'm not exactly sure, but it requires pharmaceutical companies to list every single side effect. And what that's going to do, so they couldn't stop them from making commercials, I guess, because maybe it was a violation of freedom of speech or something, I don't know. But they couldn't stop them from making commercials. But what they've done is they've made it to where they have to list every single side effect, every single one, even if it was only one person that got harmed in that way or whatever, every single side effect. That means that these commercials are going to be 10 minutes long. And you can't have a 10-minute long commercial. So they're either going to have to talk really fast or whatever, but their commercials are not going to be as effective as they were, in theory. So I think that's kind of cool. So I decided doctors do not know best. Bearded Granny, I learned that too late, unfortunately. And now I'm super skeptical.
I've never been a big fan of doctors.
Yeah.
Pretty much the only time I willingly go to a doctor is if I'm pregnant.
Yeah, the big jibby jab really, really ruined that for me. I no longer believe in science or doctors. Thank you very much. Very skeptical of all of it.
It doesn't seem like it's they take an oath to do no harm.
What'd you say?
They take an oath to do no harm, but yeah, what are they doing?
Helen, you have to go to that link that I sent you in the text message.
Eric says devoured milk.
Oh, huh. Maybe. So I said try them and see if they're any good. Lupus keeps me from being able to work right now, and the only assistance I get is medical, which pays for my substance abuse treatment. But I have to figure out everything else by myself. Andy, that is so awful.
The system nowadays is just broken.
Apple cider vinegar does wonders for blood pressure. My husband and I also do not take prescription medications. We are both disabled, all natural remedies. I know that apple cider vinegar is amazing for a lot of things. Now, I feel like I have to say this. I'm not a doctor. Don't take medical advice from me. But I do believe in all natural remedies above all else. I use apple cider vinegar in my hair. I don't use shampoo. I'll use baking soda. And you just put baking soda and water and you shake it up and wash your hair. Hair gets clean. It doesn't leave any crap behind. But it will strip your hair. Like if you have hair dye, it will take that out of your hair. But I don't dye my hair, so it's not a problem. And then I use apple cider vinegar as a rinse. And that's how I wash my hair. And it has, since I've started doing that, my hair has probably grown 6 inches. And that doesn't count all the stuff, the dead ends that I've cut off trimming it. Why is dating so hard when you're 56? Because I think either most people are married. I was telling Wiley this the other day. I was like, I think that most of the good ones are married still. And the ones that aren't married are, have probably had bad, either they're feminists that have been like, I don't need a man, or they're bat crap crazy, or, you know, they've been through the ringer a couple times and decided they don't want to do it again. So long as you keep Drew around, you'll have access to a backup. No evidence left behind. Side effects are always worse than the disease. Yes, sir, David. We never went over the big medical news yet. What's big medical news?
I don't know. What is it?
I wish we could block those commercials, like the no-call list. I know. Kennedy and Trump making an announcement today. Right. Is that about the vaccines? Because that's a big one. That is a big one. So, Helen, yesterday I sent you a link in a text message. You have to click on that. And then it'll have you like type in your name, so however you want to be represented on screen. And then, yeah. Herd brags isn't all that natural anymore either, unfortunately. I'm not surprised. They got bought out by someone else. You can make your own apple cider vinegar. I just haven't learned how to do it yet. Michelle, that is awesome. Awesome. I believe we had a really good doctor in Oklahoma. He'd been the only pediatrician any of my kids had ever seen. And unfortunately, we moved away. But he'd known them all since they were born. I always felt like he gave good advice. I believe in science, but doctors are just humans, and there is a person they call us patient. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I really just feel like the whole C word kind of really took a toll on my belief in science, too. And, you know, Wiley and I were talking, so many people are getting parasites. So many people are getting parasites. And, you know, it used to be that you had to cook pork to 165 degrees to make sure it killed anything like that before you ate it. But then why did they just change it recently in the past few years to only cooking pork to 145 degrees?
I'll be back.
Okay. All right. She's got to go feed the baby. She'll be back. So, but I've been seeing that I've been seeing videos online about people buying salmon or fish or pork products from big box stores, and, you know, it not being refrigerated on the way home. And then when they get it there, you can literally see the parasites between the meat and the plastic packaging, and they're worms, you know, and it is nasty. You don't even need a microscope to see them. It is so gross.
It's horrible.
So yeah, the whole science thing, that's one of those things. It's like, why did you change it? Did you change it so that people won't be getting parasites? Well, so that we won't be killing the parasites when we cook it? I don't know. Helen said the autism announcement. Oh yeah, that's going to be a big thing. And honestly, I am surprised that they haven't tried to take out Kennedy for exposing that. Although I did see on the news the other day, well, I get a lot of my news from X because you get it there before you see it on TV, before like the talking heads talk about it. And you pretty much can't believe anything you see on ABC, CNN, MSNBC, all of those mainstream networks. You can't believe a word that you hear on them. But yeah, they RFK was swatted the other day, and if you don't know what swatting means, basically where they send someone calls in a bomb threat or something and sends a SWAT team to your house, and then they go through your house and tear your house apart looking for a bomb that doesn't exist. And then the whole time you're sitting there in handcuffs on your couch wondering what the heck is going on. It's not right, and it has been happening to conservatives for a while, and it happened at RFK's house. Day before yesterday, these huge companies taking over the old reliable companies and changing their formula to cheaper. Yes, yeah. Vinegar is so good, I never have a hangover if I drink pickle juice as a chaser. I used to drink pickle juice when I worked as a letter carrier because I'd get really dehydrated, sweating a whole bunch. So, pickle juice is good. But now it's like all full of yellow dyes and stuff. It's awful. When I move to Arkansas, I will still travel yearly to see my doctor. I don't blame you. I'll come up next week. That'll give me time to write down a topic, she said. Helen said, I've seen those tapeworm videos. That's what they were. They were tapeworm. Morning, Charlene. I also learned that facing things head on with God leading me and my family through the fires is the only system I trust and depend on. We take everything to Jesus and lay it at his feet, and he provides. Amen, bearded granny. Amen. Amen 1,000 times to that. I told my pain management doctor that I didn't want to take narcotics, and he told me to call if I needed him. Yeah, same. They were like, just let us know if you need anything. I'm like, no, I'm good. I even told them, don't even try to give me that stuff. I don't want it. Because of my experience, I've seen too many good people go downhill after getting on pain medication. Hey, that's a good point, Eric. Eric said that I had a cancer doctor telling me that to never drink fluorinated and chlorinated water because it kills the good gut bacteria and causes cancer. They say that that's one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, they say that one of the reasons apple cider vinegar is so good for you is because it balances your pH in your body. And when you have a balanced pH, things like cancer are not able to grow in your body. That's kind of like planting, blueberries, for instance, and a lot of berries need a high acidity soil. And if you don't give it to them, they die. Like they have to, plants are the same way. They need a specific pH to thrive in. And if your soil is out of that pH, your plant is not going to do well. And that goes for our bodies too. MSNDC. Yeah, I agree, Eric. Ever think the ones who changed it didn't believe in science either? I never heard they lowered it. I still cook to 160 or more. And you should. You should. But there is things out there now I would say if you Google it, but you can't trust Google either. But yeah, they changed it to 145 now. Rob and I watch a lot of Sky News Australia. I like Sky News. I like Rita, whatever her name is. She does the whole lefties losing it thing, and it's pretty funny. Rob and I couldn't get anything for his pain because he wrote on a paper where he drank and smoked cigarettes. That's interesting. So, yeah, anyway. I'm at the bottom of the chat, guys. What the heck? Oh, hey, Kim. Kim, you were telling me about some stuff going on in California that was not so good. So let's talk about that for a second.
So it seems that Gavin Newsom, like in the dead of night, he took this bill. It's AB 144. So he stripped it of what it was potentially that it had been approved for. So since it's already been approved, he didn't need the taxpayers to approve it. So he took out a whole bunch of language, put in new language. Now he has it to where before kids can go to school, they have to have the Hep C shot. Is it Hep C? I think it's Hep C and Hep B. And they
mind you, those if you didn't know, Hep B and Hep C, I believe Hep B is sexually transmitted, and Hep C, or maybe it's the opposite. One is sexually transmitted, and the other one is transmitted through sharing needles. So, what child is having unprotected sex and and it's
at when the baby's born, they get the Hep C. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, excuse me, the Hep B. As soon as the baby is delivered, they take them, give them the vitamin K, the that Hep B, and I'm not even sure what all they give them. My daughter elected out of all of it. And even the eye cream, she's like, nope, don't touch my kid. And she's like, Mom, you go with them and make sure they don't.
Yes.
I'm fierce. I would punch somebody, and probably I would need bail money. But I mean, he's like, Gavin Newsom is just tearing California apart. He's on
a mission to do as much damage as possible because he can't be reelected.
Yep. He's going to run for president, or he thinks he's going to. Hopefully there's too many conservatives out there for him to get elected. He would destroy America.
Yeah.
He would totally.
He would make us all California. And millions of people are leaving California because of his horrible policies. Yeah. Another thing I saw in California is that Gavin Newsom is banning face masks for any kind of law enforcement.
Yes.
Specifically ICE agents.
Mm-hmm.
But Antifa, people burning down cities, BLM rioters, they can wear masks. That's okay.
Yeah.
But police officers and ICE agents can't. That's just so backwards.
So also he's having a fit about Texas, about how they're what is it called? Redistricting. Thank you. And he's like, if they could do it, we can do it. Okay, so you have 40 to 48% conservatives in California. There's 28 or 29 seats. There's 9 seats that are for the Republican conservatives. 9 out of all of that.
Out of all of them, yeah.
All of them. So,
right.
And I'm sorry, it's in my head, but trying to get it out my mouth and make it make sense to everybody sometimes is not cohesive.
Okay. So. we'll just talk about it, and then we'll get to the point eventually. But, yeah, Hep C is from dirty needles, including dirty tattoos. There you go. And Hep B is a bloodborne pathogen. So I believe that's the one that's sexually transmitted. What about not putting things around your home? I couldn't catch the whole thing. Oh, yeah, and now you're not allowed to have plants or fences near your home.
And they're talking about banning wood fences, to where you can't even have wooden fences around your property, like for cattle, those, or even privacy fences. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, he says that will bring down the price of insurance. If we can.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Right. No.
I doubt that. It's all about giving your freedoms up in the name of safety, pretty much. Mm-hmm. You can't have a wood fence because it might catch on fire. Mm-hmm. So now I don't get privacy because of safety. Yeah. When I've had this fence around my house for 50 years and nothing's happened, but I'm being punished. It's because they don't believe that fences work, right?
Right. It's so crazy. And
nothing within 5 feet of a structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm already in compliance, or whatever you call it, because I've got rose bushes all around my house.
Uh-huh. And to think you might have to dig up all of your rose bushes, or the county, the city might come in and fine you and then say that, oh, now you're going to have to pay us to come in and dig up your stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to lock my gate and tell them good luck with it and let my dog loose.
Yeah, right. Get a Doberman Pinscher. Yeah. Or a Great Dane, except actually Great Danes are kind of friendly.
They are.
I don't know. They're scary, but they're friendly.
Yeah. Have to borrow a pit bull from somebody.
Yeah. Candy said that Hep B and C are both sexually transmitted. I didn't know that. But I guess, yeah. In Green Cross classes, we were taught only thing that kills Hep C was pretty much undiluted bleach. Yeah, don't be drinking that.
But AIDS. They said also bleach kills AIDS.
Oh. You're dumb enough to drink bleach. I'm straight. Because if you drink like city water, you're drinking bleach.
Yep. What about those kids that were eating the Tide Pods? Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, that was so stupid.
I have a thing that's got a child-proof. Okay, so number one, children were not eating them. The teenagers were. So you really think the child-proof cap is going to prevent a teenager from getting?
No, it's not. That's like Amber and I were joking about it the other day. There's warning labels on things They shouldn't need warning labels like, don't use your toaster while you're taking a bath
Right? Or your blow dryer in the shower.
or while you're sleeping. I think it actually there's a label on them that says don't use this while sleeping. It's just,
Here's your here's your sign. You know
yeah,
what I
here's
mean?
your sign. Yeah,
Holy
exactly.
cow!
Morning, Kay. How are you? Fires are terrifying. Have you ever been evacuated while the sky rains down fire and embers? Rooftops or metal roofs and fences could help
Yep,
prevent rapid spreading fire. Yeah.
I have been.
And that's why California, yeah, Kim, you lost your house to a fire in
I did.
Paradise.
We drove through the fire. And I can tell you right now, it does not matter. It wouldn't have mattered if the whole place was made of steel. That fire was so hot, it was melting fire trucks. It was just it was crazy. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Girl Geo said those fires are terrifying. Have you ever? Oh wait, we read that already. Kim, the kids that were eating the Tide Pods are the new Antifa. That kind of explains a lot.
Right?
Oh, Eric said he was talking about blood and body fluids, not actually drinking it. Kim, when are you going to move to God's country? Right?
I want to. My daughter-in-law lives out there though, or ex-daughter-in-law lives there, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they could. I don't think Arkansas could handle the both of us living in the same state. California nearly exploded.
Yeah. For some reason, blue roofs are better protected. Look at Maui, right? Did y'all see that? Anything blue. There was like blue t-shirts in a pile of charred stuff that wasn't burned. Houses with blue roofs didn't burn when everything around them burned. Make it make sense.
That is really weird.
Yeah.
I might get up there and paint my roof blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This house was blue.
Your house was blue?
Yeah, this house was. Yeah, I ruined Christmas, y'all.
Yeah. It all started when the lawsuit of the lady spilling coffee in her crotch from McDonald's. Yes.
Oh my God.
I remember that. I remember that. That was so ridiculous.
We went to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I said Candy said, sad to say, I'm born and raised in California native, right? Amber and I are both from California too. I left when we were I was 13 or 14 and haven't gone back to live there. Well, no, actually I did. I did go back to California and live there for a couple of years. And then I GTFO'd and I ain't going back. I'll go back to visit my dad, but that's it.
You got to talk him into moving out with you.
What'd you say?
You have to talk him into moving out of California with you. Just might have to pick up his tree house and move it.
Yeah, he said it's too hot and humid there. Like, Dad, it's not like it's every day that's hot and humid. You have those times. You trade the hot and humid for the snow where you can't leave your house. I'd much rather have the heat and the humidity than that much snow.
Us old people are stubborn.
Yeah. Vicky said my dad was hurt like Charlie and to this day can't forgive the shooter. Vicky, I know that's really hard, but like Kim said previously in the live, that forgiveness is for you, not for them. David said my toilet seat came with a sticker only to be removed by final customers. Who's eating them? Mattresses are the same way. Actually, I think that there's even a label on a mattress that says that it's against the law to cut that label off. How are you going to know? How are you even going to know? I was once told that warning labels are there because someone has tried it. Right. Why would they put a warning label there? That seems like such a dumb thing. Candy said, I left California in 2012. I'm in Maine now. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? Prayers for Charlie, her wife, very strong woman with her faith in God. God bless her. Amen. Oh my gosh. She is so much stronger than me. I was born in an army and loved it. I still have a lot of Texas in my heart, too. Eric, was that supposed to say that you were an army brat?
Yeah.
That's what they call them, right? Kids that are
Yep.
born an army brat?
Yep, that's what I've always been told.
Yep.
Yep.
What do they call the other branches, though? A Navy brat? Marines brat doesn't sound right. Is there a separate name for them? Air Force brat? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. What do you guys say? The label is on all furniture containing fabric. Couches have those labels too. That's interesting. Color ladders had so many stickers there because of lawsuits. People using them for not the right way. Yeah, Eric. Yep. That's why I've seen on cans of stuff like maybe it was spray foam insulation or caulking or bug spray, like, bee killer stuff and stuff like that. It says not for unintended purposes or something.
Yeah, I wonder what they would use it for. I mean,
I don't even want to know.
right? Could be scary.
You know what's funny? So Lily got a scented pen recently. So each color, it's one of those ones that has like 10 different colors or whatever, and you can push a little thingy down and but it's scented. So each one has a different scent. But at the same time, like, people sniff Sharpies. You have to be 18 to buy a Sharpie. Because people sniff them to get high. But then they sell scented markers for little kids. Make sense. Just because it smells like a banana or a blueberry, does that make it any better than the awful smell of a Sharpie? I don't know. The labels on fashion tell you it's non-flammable. Yeah.
My grandson used to suck all of that out of the markers, whatever it was, the dye or whatever. He would suck all of that out of there. His lips would be green. Like he was like 2. I'm like, dear God, what are you thinking, child? But he would do it. He would hide behind the couch.
Okay.
That brings us to Amber's favorite topic, them damn kids.
Yes.
We don't really talk like that, but them damn kids. Every day.
It's always something. I know we've mentioned it in a video before that we are now calling the 3 youngest Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's because we cannot leave them unattended for 5 freaking minutes without them doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And somebody thinks it's a good idea, and the other 2 are like, yeah.
They won't stay out of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like my nephews. I had 2 nephews and my granddaughter. You put those 3 together, and there was going to be chaos. There was going to be gnashing of teeth because they're going to have a disagreement. And then after their disagreement, they're going to all be on the same page and start tearing crap up. Or trying to kill each other, jumping off of something, doing bike jumps.
Our kids get along really well. Until they get in trouble, and then it's all pointing fingers. Not me, I didn't do it.
Right, this not me, and I didn't do it. I'm gonna catch those ones.
Yeah.
And they're gonna pay for all their crimes.
Yeah. In my day, I was sniffing Elmer's glue and rubber cement. And we did it in class. Jen ate colors when she was young. No wonder I talk with colorful language. Or he said, I ate. Yeah. I remember eating crayons. I pretty much remember all kids eating crayons.
Right? Had to try it at least once. How do you know if you don't like it?
It's hard to hide it when you change a diaper and it's a bunch of different colors. Candy said, "Don't even get me started on them damn kids, Amber." Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask Jason why the blue crayons taste best. I'll have to ask him next time I see him. We don't point fingers. We tried to get them to, or get. Oh yeah, try to get them to pull your fingers. I get it. Hey Janice, how are you? I emailed Jen and got your website. Proceed. Taking a look and we'll order some. Awesome, Janice. Kids eating the Play-Doh too, and the mint flavored paste.
Yep.
Why we need to make our own Play-Doh. Actually, our kids, I haven't caught them eating the Play-Doh.
But just because we haven't caught them yet doesn't mean that they haven't done it.
The fact that they only had a little bit of Play-Doh and they still have most of it leads me to believe that they haven't been eating. So that's good. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those 3 are out of the Play-Doh eating phase, hopefully.
Yeah.
But Willow will be not too far behind on the Play-Doh eating phase. So
we're gonna have to start making
she's
our
gonna
own
have
Play-Doh.
all sorts of interesting things to try to put in her mouth with, how many other kids are in this house.
Between little tiny action figures and like the little tiny little pet Lily likes that are only like this big.
Oh,
and
we're already constantly like, you guys can't leave this laying around. Willow's not moving yet, but she will be soon. Like, she will be making her way all over the place.
And for anybody that doesn't know, like, between our buses is a gravel floor.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be lots of rocks too. We're not looking forward to her being able to.
Jen though used to like to dump her soda out on the rocks and then suck it off the rocks. So, she might be more like Auntie than we thought.
Kim just almost lost her coffee through her nose. That's what I get for telling her she had a cold heart starting the live this morning.
Hey, don't go dipping the old-fashioned mud pies. Those things were delicious. Jen used to make them for me all the time.
Yeah, and I use like pine needles and stuff to make sprinkles on top so they look pretty.
Then you ain't right. You just ain't right. Poor Amber.
I would threaten her. I'd be like, "You're gonna eat it. You're gonna like it."
We're not making this good mud pie.
I didn't slave all day to make this beautiful pie, and you not appreciate it.
And it's chocolate. Your favorite. I promise.
Yeah. That's why she likes chocolate so much now.
Yeah, it's your fault that I'm addicted to chocolate.
Yeah. Right?
I need chocolate.
Kirk said, "What don't kill you makes you stronger." Yeah. Yep. PB and mint toothpaste sandwiches is the best. David, you've got to be joking. That just sounds so gross. Good old-fashioned mud pies are the best. It's organic. Yeah.
Jen is the reason they outlawed easy bake ovens.
The shake and bake ovens. Yeah. I did have one of those growing up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Although we couldn't really use it after they, I think I used it to melt crayons. Because after you ran out of like the little packets that it came with, those little packets were more expensive than a box of brownie mix, and so our parents wouldn't buy it. So I think I used them to melt crayons after that. I was also the kid that would find a screwdriver and take apart the VCR to see how it worked.
And then
to fix it.
And then not be able to put it back together.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember how many times I got in trouble as a kid for fixing things that weren't broke. I just had a mechanical mind. I like
just have to know how it happened.
Right? Yeah. Mayo, bologna, and Oreo sandwiches, but wife said that could lead to a divorce if I continued.
Eric, are you pregnant?
Yeah. Oh. David said, "Try it with jelly." Mayo, bologna, and Oreo sandwich with jelly. That does not sound good at all.
The bologna killed it. I had so much bologna when I was a kid. No bologna for me.
I cannot do bologna or Spam. It would have to be literally a life and death situation. That would literally have to be the only thing there was, and I would have to be starving to the point I was sick to eat bologna.
Mm-hmm.
Wiley likes bologna. I do not. Hey, Tease World, how's it going? David said, I only like fried bologna.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
like
done
any
that.
bologna. Kind of gives me goosebumps to think about
It's
eating
been a
it.
long time since I've had to, eat bologna, but
Because of being traumatized as a kid. So because our mom got addicted to painkillers and she was there but not there, our dad worked all the time, and so we were left with our brother that was 7 years older than me. So he knew how to make bologna sandwiches,
top ramen.
and PB&J, and then pancakes. And so now it is hard to get me to eat any of those things.
Yeah.
I do like waffles, but pancakes not.
I'm not even really a big fan of waffles or French toast.
Yeah, I'll eat some French toast, but really, I don't like sweet stuff for breakfast. It makes me feel not good.
The only thing sweet I want for breakfast is my coffee.
Yep, same. And I'm even trying to wean myself off a coffee creamer because
I cannot do black coffee. I cannot do it.
I don't know if I can or not, but I'm gonna find out.
I have tried because I have been in situations where I cannot afford coffee creamer, but no, I do not. No. Black coffee, I had to have like a pound of sugar.
Liver cheese is good. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had liver cheese. It sounds gross, but I've never had it. Kim, have you ever had liver cheese?
I don't think so.
Wiley's had like liver loaf before and he liked it.
I don't like liver at all. So the word liver just turns me off immediately.
Yeah. David said cucumber and tomato with mayo. Yep. I haven't had it with cucumber, but I do like it.
Really good.
I do like a good tomato and mayo sandwich with salt and pepper on it.
I like to eat crackers with cucumber, tomato, and a little bit of ranch on it.
That tastes
good. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I love bologna, but I can only eat it fried, otherwise it hurts my belly.
Huh.
Processed stuff in general hurts my belly. We eat lentils. I've had lentils before, but it's not something that we don't.
I'm pretty sure I've had them before, but we don't really eat them again.
I remember having them, and they tasted kind of like beans, if I remember correctly. Flapjacks with real maple syrup. How are flapjacks different than pancakes?
Peanut butter and bologna?
Ew.
Gross.
Tina said it's good. Liverwurst cheese spread on crackers is good.
See, there's that liver word again. I don't know.
Yeah. You like Brunswager, you like liver cheese. I ain't never had that either.
No.
I drink my coffee black. I only use creamer and sugar on vacation and holidays.
I blew it. I drank my coffee black for 4 days, and then yesterday I started using half and half because we got some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a hard time without any kind of. I have to have some kind of cream in my coffee.
Yeah.
Preferably flavored kind.
Mm-hmm.
Hazelnut.
Karen said, "I'm sorry, but that sounds gross." Yeah, it does. I agree. I try to make everything from scratch if possible. Cali Chaos, I agree.
I used to make a lot more from scratch when I only had 2 kids. It was a lot easier. And now that, just to make everything from scratch, that would take so much time.
We are talking about, but I am a scratch kind of person.
I love everything made from scratch. Everything made from scratch is so much better. But to take the time to make enough, pasta from scratch or
homemade tortillas,
homemade tortillas. It takes all day just to make the tortillas for one meal for our family.
Because we need like 30 tortillas.
And that it's just a long process.
Yeah.
And we have so many other things that we need to do other than make tortillas.
Candy said, I've been relearning how to cook everything from scratch. If you have to pay extremely for goose pate, aka goose liver with fancy name. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Emily likes making bread. I really love making homemade tortillas. Well, I love eating homemade tortillas. The whole making them part isn't as fun because it literally takes all
I love homemade food.
Yeah.
Just making it sometimes sucks.
Wiley even got me like a cast iron tortilla press, and we used it a few times. But you
it
have
takes
to have
longer for the press to use the press than it does to roll them out by hand.
and the press doesn't get them thin enough, so then they're more like home style tortillas, and they're not as easy to like roll up and fold because they don't get them thin enough. And you gotta have parchment paper on the top and the bottom so they don't stick to the press. Or maybe I need to grease it. I don't know. Somebody tell me how to use a tortilla press. My grandma
ladies,
taught
I
me.
have to go.
Okay, well, we love you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Love you, ladies, too. Thank you so much for having me. Bye, everybody.
Should I kick her out or ban her?
They're not banned yet. They're on another channel.
Bye.
You'll find us.
Get. Okay, we'll be removed. Oh, if you want this person to be
no, she left.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to ban her. I just wanted to make her go away. I don't know.
Make her go away. Yeah, go away, Kim. Had enough of you.
Helen said, "Oh yeah, sure. Now the sun comes out."
Yeah, it's still not out here.
Candy said, "I'm also canning a lot of stuff too. That's awesome." We canned a couple 100 pounds of pears, and I think all that pear sauce is gone, huh? Or almost.
Almost. There's, I think, a couple big jars left, maybe.
Ugh. It took all day, or took like 2 days to can all those pears, and it took the kids like a week.
Right? We didn't even actually have to can them. None of it would have went bad.
Yeah, right. I watched a friend's mother make home cooked goods and found out why it's called scratch. Seems she scratched everything. Ew. 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 Hey, look, now we're full screen. Where before we had like that border. I don't know what changed. But we're still backwards on here. I don't know what that's all about.
I do not know.
Yep. So we're gonna keep this live stream going for a while as long as y'all are here talking to us, because
we're really trying to get our watch hours so we can be monetized on this channel.
We were joking, and Amber and I were like, we think that whatever money we make from this channel should go towards like homesteading stuff and, you know, building things up, and I was like, yeah, and then we can find a baby cow.
I told Wiley that I'm gonna, go grocery shopping and accidentally come home with a new dog that, might move.
Yeah.
Like, how do you like my new dog?
Jen, it's from eating those colors. See, we're all learning. So, yeah. Amber, you can entertain for a second. I gotta go to the ladies' room. I'll be right back.
No. Yeah. I'm not as entertaining as you.
She's not as nice as me.
Yeah. So what's everybody want to talk about? We can make fun of Jen while she's not here, but it's more fun to make fun of her when she's here, so I can watch her expressions. Yeah, she had to go powder her nose. Powder something. Have to peek on the kids when they don't think anybody's watching. It's when you get to catch them doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. The kids are great. I mean, all the kids are doing great. Surprised that we're still having an easy time with the whole homeschooling thing. Surprisingly, it's going a lot easier than we thought it would be at this point. We thought like the whole newness of this new school year beginning was gonna wear off and that they'd start fighting us more. But so we're doing good, I guess, about that. Yeah. Which channel is this? Yours or the Trolls one? This is the yeah, this is the new channel. Where is she? Oh. I'm like, I know I saw her.
Hey, Helen. Did you ever watch that video I sent you the other day?
Oh, of that book?
Of that book? That dirty book?
my
Oh my gosh.
God. The dirty children's book.
Yeah. Which channel is this? Yours or the Trolls one? This is positively obnoxious still.
No, this is positively offensive.
Offensive. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Powder or pamper? What are you talking about?
Yeah, free speech and F the Trolls.
Yeah. I have one tattoo, Tease World, that I got when I was 18 in memory of our mom when she passed away. Oh, Helen said she's got to go visit John too.
Mhm.
So, yeah. I prefer, visiting the bathroom with Jane, not John.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the bathroom with John.
Yeah, there's some places that allow that though. Bill said, "Okay, free speech and F the Trolls." Amen, Bill. You're in the right place. So far, we haven't had any trolls, so kind of looking forward to some, but whatever.
I'm sure we'll get there as our viewers grow.
Yeah. Hey, Gordon, how are you? Hello, ladies. Michigan to see life going on today. Don't understand. I say I am going to the office and getting paperwork done. Our stepbrother, said that he was gonna go drop his friends off at the pool. That was his code language. Michael.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. And our mom was like, "What do you mean? Like, how are you gonna take your friends to the pool on your skateboard?"
Right?
And he's like, "No, Mom, I'm gonna go drop my friends off at the pool." And it took her a minute, and then she finally got it. But,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I get it now. Ew.
I have 3 cats.
Cheese World said, "I have 5. Hey, man, you do whatever you want." It hurt though, and I don't want another one. Actually, I've considered getting more tattoos. I'm like, oh, that would look so cute. But then I remind myself that it costs money, and that I'm a cheapskate or frugal, depending on how you put it. And then I also think of how it will look when I get old. I'm like, maybe not.
I don't care how it'll look when I get old.
You're going to have to change the name of the channel. I'm not even a little offended. I know, Greg. We'll get there, I'm sure. Did you stream the Charlie Kirk Memorial? I did not stream it, but I did watch Erica's speech this morning. I have not seen the whole thing.
Yes, they are expensive, and that is why I don't have more of them.
Yeah, Helen said that that she hasn't watched it yet, that she was going to watch it with Rob to get his reaction. That would be a great topic for next week. Yeah, so let's talk about next week. Y'all do your research over the week, and let's come together and talk about all the nasty books that are in
Here
school.
she is handing out homework.
Yeah. Does that offend you? Candy said, "I have 2 tattoos." Yeah, tattoos are expensive. Yeah. Greg, you're not a lefty is why, right? Yeah. Alrighty, Kim. We understand. People got things to do. We don't expect y'all to hang out with us all day, but if you ain't got nothing better to do, then cool. I don't plan on staying on here all day, but we're gonna keep it going as long as we got quite a few people in here because
or until breakfast is done.
Yeah, which we might just go take turns eating. I don't know.
Right?
I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go do concrete.
I want to get stuff done.
I don't want to do concrete.
Might just leave her here with y'all and
I'll stand there and hold the hose.
go get concrete done with the boys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We need to work their
More
little
like
butts off
stand
today.
there and watch the boys do concrete.
Yeah. They need to learn how.
Yeah.
The best way to learn is by doing.
You know, it's a weekday. It's schoolwork. How to pour concrete 101.
Yeah, Kim, well, if you find your way this direction, definitely hit us up and we'll get to meet in person.
Right? That would be awesome.
Yeah. So,
I
anyway.
mean, you're going to have to come visit your daughter out here soon anyways, right?
Right? She said her husband's taking some time off work and they're just going to take some time to reset and they might make their way out this way.
Right?
So, that would be cool. I wish we would have hollered at Kim when we went to visit California, but I'm also glad that we didn't because I enjoyed spending time with our dad and I enjoyed not actually feeling like I was in California.
Right? Yeah, just staying up there on the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Out in the middle of nowhere where politics don't reach.
Nothing reaches.
At least not even the cell signal. Is this not scrolling or is everybody just not talking?
Oh.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right.
All right, we got to find something interesting to talk about, Jen.
Yeah. Look. Let me open this.
You're always trying to go on these rants that nobody wants to listen to. Find one and go on a rant.
Right?
What part of California is Kim in?
I believe that she's in the northern part. I don't want to give away her city, but she is between Sacramento and Oregon.
Between Sacramento and Oregon, yeah. Very vague. She lives in the cool part of California, not the stupid part of California.
Right. I'm gonna make this smaller so maybe I can we can still read the chat. We don't have to see ourselves, huh? Here's our homework. Look up these said books and ask yourself, why are these available in schools but not the Bible? Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, hey, so that's a good topic to talk about. Did y'all hear about, I can't remember what her name is.
Like you were in between Memphis and Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we are. Then we can talk about that. Yeah, we can talk about those bad books. So the bad book that I'm actually talking about is, it's called Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. And it's about what you think it is. Except it's a cartoon kids book with Brenda and her pet beaver, who wears a
bikini.
And they talk about landing strips and Brazilian haircut for her beaver. And how all the boys who've seen Brenda's beaver think it's scary. And her friends offer to help her. And it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. I actually originally heard about it, I think, because there was a school board meeting going on, and anyway, a kid had brought it and had started reading it at the school board meeting, and the school board shut the kid down and said, that's not appropriate for this meeting. Oh, but it's appropriate for elementary school age kids. No, it's not. Yeah, it is a bad book. Yes, it is a bad book. It's kind of funny, mildly funny from a dirty adult perspective, but it is a bad book.
It should not be targeted for children at all.
No. So did y'all hear about Irina Zaruska? She was I'm just going to start looking up stuff to talk about. That sounds like an adventure I had at 12 years old. Ew. So yeah, for adults only, right? Irina Zaruska. Does anybody know about her? which this happened just before the Charlie Kirk thing, and so it kind of got washed out. And of course, it's, you know, a black on white crime, so the media is not talking about it. But while I'm waiting for people to chat, Irina was a Ukrainian refugee who came here the right way. I believe she worked at a pizza place. Where were they? I can't remember where this took place. In one of the Carolinas or Georgia, maybe. Oh, Kim let it out. She's in Orville. That poor girl never had a chance and no one helped her. Yeah. You know, so correct me if I'm wrong. I might not have all the details. But she was a Ukrainian refugee who came here the right way. Mind you, her country is literally in the middle of a war right now. And hundreds, if not thousands of people are dying every single day because of it. And she came here, did the right thing. And she was such a beautiful young woman. And she was on a bus on the way home from work one night, and a career criminal had sat behind her and killed her in cold blood. She didn't do anything to him. In the video, you see she's sitting there in her seat, minding her own business. She's on her phone. And then the next thing you see is her cowering like this, and he takes her out. And there's other people on the bus who do nothing about it. So, yeah, it was awful.
That's horrible.
It was awful. She was only in her 20s.
That's so sad.
Came here for a better life and ended up losing it instead. Because some judge and this happens every single day. Every single day. These guys get let out with no bail, with no consequences, you know, awaiting their trial or whatever. It was on a subway. Yeah. Okay, Helen, thanks. Yeah. I thought it was like a bus or something, but it was the subway. And it was in North Carolina. Maybe. T said, wasn't that in North Carolina? Honestly, I believe it was over there somewhere. North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that. That North Carolina judge should suffer, but I am sure he has no scruples, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that these judges should be held accountable when someone else gets hurt because they let someone go free. I believe there should be some accountability, kind of like bartenders. If you overserve someone, if you knowingly overserve that person and they get into an accident and kill somebody on the way home, that bartender is partially liable for that. But judges aren't held liable for letting criminals run free to hurt people over and over again. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, woke justice. It's awful. Yeah. It's not justice at all. It is not justice at all. You know, maybe the same way like doctors should be held some partially responsible for over medicating people and then them taking it out on others.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there should be some sort of accountability, especially in the sense of judges, because they have the choice whether to send that person to jail and keep them away from the community. This wasn't this guy's first offense. How many times had he hurt other people or broken the laws before this, guys? Y'all fill in that blank for me. Eric, not only did she come here legally, but she was also white. I am not against people of other colors at all.
Nope.
Not at all. We were raised that there's good and bad people of every race.
I hate all stupid people equally.
Yeah, exactly. We hate stupid people equally.
Yeah, I don't care the color of your skin.
But I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, but she was white. Let's not ignore the fact that there's a huge spike in black on white crime. There was someone arrested in Arizona the day before Charlie's celebration of life, posing to be security, and was let out on bail the same day. I heard that.
Right, that is ridiculous.
Yep. trying to go in armed into that stadium, posing as a security guard. I am really glad that whoever was on duty that day was able to stop that person. Because imagine if somebody like that had gotten inside of that stadium. That would have been so bad. The fact that Erica had to stand behind bulletproof glass was a testament to the times. And if you're going to protest a funeral before someone's even buried, that's just the lowest of the low. What are you protesting? You don't think they should be buried? This individual is hanging around the stadium. I believe it. So should Trump be accountable for the continued crimes of all the White House rioters free? This isn't a left or right issue. Letting criminals go happens every day. So just to be clear, are you talking about the January 6th stuff? Before I talk about that, I want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I've actually researched that very extensively. I've watched researched footage. During COVID, they let all the time criminals out here. I guess I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I didn't hear about. I do not agree with Trump warp speed and getting the COVID vaccine out like super, super fast without proper testing and all of that. I can kind of see why he did it, but I don't agree with it. And I do believe that nobody's perfect, and we are, in a position like his or any kind of leadership position at all. I believe that you rely on those around you that have more experience in those specific areas to give you good advice. And sometimes those people don't give you good advice, and unfortunately, you don't find out till later. Yeah, Helen. I guess I didn't see that because, like I said, I only watched her 30-minute speech. I haven't seen the rest of it yet. Yeah, Tease World, right? Yeah, you didn't hear much about that either. There was a shooting at a Colorado school, I think the same day that Charlie Kirk was murdered. And you're right, you didn't hear about that. I believe Trump was forced to okay the vaccine, right? Yep, I think he learned a lot in his first term. Sorry, AI changes my words. To protect the criminals in jail, they let them go during COVID. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't remember hearing a lot about that. And that's why I say, bring these things to my attention and correct me when I'm wrong, because I don't always have all of the information. I don't have all day, every day to search the interwebs for all this information. So I don't want to speak on things that I am not confident about, though, either. Yeah, he definitely learned who not to trust. But I feel like, Helen, I still feel like there's people in his administration and people that are still working in our government that are working against him. And I don't know who they all are. I just know that they are there. But I think that he definitely got it because he wasn't a politician. He's still not a career politician. And I believe that he learned a lot from his first. So. That's another thing. So, I don't know how to express my opinion on this, but there is a guy named Destiny who is, let me see, definitely Pam Bondi, Rob, I believe is one of them. Have you heard recently, actually it's just come out in the last couple of days, but Trump is posting things on Truth Social and other places where he's telling Pam that if arrests don't come soon, it's making their administration look bad. And I see two sides of that. I don't really know much about Pam Bondi, so I won't speak to her character. But I know that legal processes take time to do them correctly. And so if you want charges to stick, if you want to present a solid case, it takes time to gather information and build that solid case. So I get that. I also agree that things need to happen because people are getting impatient. But I do get that a solid case has to be built in order to make it stick. So I don't know much about her or her motives. But yeah. Greg said, I thought you were setting posts with concrete today. That's why I'm trying to hang out here, because I don't want to do concrete, Greg.
Yeah, Greg, that's what I want to be out there doing.
Can't really trust him or anyone else in the government. I do have a hard time trusting government. I can say that from what I've seen, I think that there is a lot of stuff that I like. I like seeing a lot more of the fiscal responsibility. I do like seeing shutting down the border. I like what they're doing with the Maha movement and making America healthy again. And there's a lot that I do like. But yeah, New York did the same thing, released a lot of criminals out on the streets since COVID. Yeah, right. Saying COVID was the reason, right? Anyway, I was going to say that something about kids being radicalized online. And one of the main reasons my kids don't get unfiltered access to the internet is because there's weirdos on the internet that are trying to convince our kids to be bad people or do bad things or think a certain way. Y'all got anything to say about that?
I think I'm gonna go check breakfast.
Okay, I stirred it while I was out there.
And by check breakfast, I mean steal bites of breakfast.
Yeah, the potatoes did not look anywhere near done, so I didn't try that. I figured they'd probably still be crunchy. Yeah.
They're a little bit softer now. My belly's upset. I need food.
Here's a post with Charlie Kirk. It says, when a memorial service draws more people than the Super Bowl, this isn't politics, it's a movement. What do you guys think about that? All right. Eric, that's what I would like to believe is true. I'm not sure how I feel, but I know how legal system works. And she's got quite the task at hand. I mean, imagine how many lawsuits she's trying to balance or investigations she's trying to balance right now. I do want to give her some grace, but I'm also skeptical. Helen, I agree. And of course, we're not going to agree on everything. And a lot of times as civilians and not somebody who has to make all those hard decisions, we don't understand the bigger picture. And, that goes for a lot of things. And that's why I try to keep an open mind when I'm looking at the news or when I'm sharing information and I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I don't see the big picture. Yeah, Eric, right. I saw something that said that Hunter Biden is now being investigated for selling presidential pardons. Y'all didn't know there was, I think, a couple hundred presidential pardons that were done using Biden's auto pen his last day in office. Amen. When this movement brings Rob closer to Christ after his past, that's huge in our household. Helen, there has been a revival, and that's something that Erica said in her podcast or in her video, her speech that she gave, is that this isn't, they expected to see riots and burning down streets and damaging personal property, and there wasn't any of that. Everybody's coming together in love, in support, and it's in revival, really. There's people who've never been to church who've gone to church the first time. There's people who haven't opened a Bible in 20 years, they're opening Bible. It's people have opened their hearts. And I also like how she said that it is our job as believers to be the shepherds of those people, to water those seeds and care for those seeds and help grow those seeds. And just remember that if you are a believer, there's a price to pay if you lead someone astray. So be careful what you say and what you do, because you don't want to face those consequences. Eric, that needs to happen, honestly. It is so heartwarming to see everybody. I mean, so many people come together. So many people all over the world have come together in, in marches to celebrate freedom of speech. And there have been record numbers of baptisms. I know that the last couple of weeks at church, we have had a huge influx. I mean, it's almost a packed house, and there's a ton of faces I've never seen before. Girl, Gio, I don't want to misunderstand your question or your comment. But the way I feel is that I think that Charlie was bringing people to God. It was his job, or he felt as if it was his mission to wake people up and make them think about families. Because in a world where our youth are being taught that our youth are being told that they were born in the wrong body. And I had seen something one time where somebody who was on the transgender side or on the LGBT side of things had said that they had a rude awakening, that they had woke up from a dream, and the dream was basically there was a man and a woman couple, and then there's this whole family tree that branched out from underneath them. And then there was a same-sex couple, and it was just a line under them, and then there was nothing else. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He does not want us to be happy. He does not want us to live in peace. And he doesn't want us to raise the next generation of believers. See, Eric, and yeah, you can be a believer and not a church person. Because guess what? Your relationship is between you and God. It is not a public thing. And you don't have to be a believer. I mean, you don't have to be a church person to share your story with somebody. Share share stories about what God's done in your life. You don't have to be a preacher to do that. Yeah, Kim said, my son was trying to protect his daughter because of his past. He got life in prison. Not one person was injured. Not one scratch. Right? Yep. And he's the one who ended up in prison because he was trying to keep other people from hurting her. Eric, you're absolutely right when they took civics out of school. Yep. Bringing people to God is good, and let's hope all of those people are there to worship God and not Charlie. Right. Yep. Yep. No place. No place. Hey, welcome. Biden gave a pardon to his son. Yeah. Right. I know. And anything and it wasn't even, I'm pardoning him from this particular thing that he did. It was a blanket pardon. Anything that he's done, known and unknown, over the last 10 or 20 years or whatever it was. Eric, you're right. I've known quite a few LGBT people in my life, and most of them have been very cool, very down-to-earth people that can agree to disagree on things, that don't try to rub it in everybody's faces. They just want to be happy and, love who they want to love, and cool, whatever. I mean, it's not my job to judge. But I gotta say that the tea in there, when you start putting people on hormones and things that do not belong in their bodies, people go nuts. And also there's a lot of them are on antidepressants. And as Kim said earlier, her doctor someone had said earlier, it wasn't Kim, it was someone else. They had said that their doctor had put them on antidepressants or anxiety medicine or whatever. And they had dreams about unaliving themselves and decided that they didn't want it anymore. So, yeah. And, people might hate me for saying this, maybe not y'all, but somebody will. But the majority of the people who've been committing these mass, shootings and stuff have been from that T side of that community. And that is something that the media absolutely will not talk about. They will try to spin it every way that they can to make that seem like it is untrue. But when you dig into the details of stuff, the majority of them are from that community. I'm not saying that they are all bad people. I'm saying that when you give people drugs that shouldn't be in their body, it changes the way that they think, and it can lead to bad things. Eric, amen. The thief on the cross. So if you're not aware, there was a man that was nailed to a cross right next to Jesus, and he didn't follow Jesus. He didn't live by his teachings or anything like that. He didn't go to church. He wasn't baptized. None of that stuff. And he still saw Jesus for who he was, and he believed, and he was saved on the cross in his last moment. Girl Geo, I believe that Charlie Kirk, yes, he did have strong opinions on politics. I don't know about questionable ideals, but he did have strong opinions on politics. And I believe that his intention, I don't really know because I've never met him, but from watching his videos, because I had watched him for several years, I believe that he challenged the youth because it got them to think. It got them to second guess or think deeper about the issues at hand. I don't feel like he demonized anybody for living a certain way. And unfortunately, you're right, it did make him a target. Yeah, Helen. Just because people want to be that, or just because people want to love who they want to love, basically doesn't necessarily make them bad people. Of course, if you take it biblically, they're not living in God's will for their life, because his goal is to have us have families and have kids and raise kids and populate the earth and all of that. But I don't believe that they're bad people just because they make that choice. Right, T's World. In addition to doctors being in a hurry to push all these meds, one of the reasons I fully believe is because they are being incentivized monetarily to do so. In addition, we have a bunch of counselors out there. Now, I've said this in a previous video. I think that counseling is appropriate in certain situations, but we are having a lot of counselors out there that, instead of getting to the bottom of the core issues, they are, I want to choose my words wisely because I don't want to be ugly about it, but they're basically going along with mental illness. They are incentivizing it in the sense that a lot of them are putting feelings over facts. And I feel like that's part of the reason our youth are so messed up, is because instead of being told the truth based on traditional science and facts and history, they're being told a completely different story that is buying into their feelings. I do not believe that is helping someone. Can somebody give me an example, maybe, of that? Yeah, there are friends in our family, and it is our job to love them. And you don't lead anybody to Christ by judging and being ugly. So I'm out of blank, guys. Yeah, no. I'm not seeing any more chat. Oh, hang on. I respect a person's rights to things until it gets to a place where it steps on my rights. Like smoking is a great non-political example. Exactly. If you want to smoke, you can smoke, just not in my house or my car. Because I don't smoke. I don't like the way it smells. It honestly, whenever I smell secondhand smoke, it gives me like lightheadedness. I really, really do not like it at all. It stinks. The smell doesn't go away. Your walls turn yellow. But if that's what you want to do in your private home or in your car or in your yard or whatever, that's fine. But I should have the right to say not in my house, you know? Yep, that's a very, very good point, girl Geo, is that smoking is a non-political thing, or is a good non-political example. It is. They've never shoved their lifestyle down our throats, and we've never shoved our lifestyle down theirs. And that's how we should be able to coexist. We should be able to have conversations about things that we don't necessarily agree on. But then agree to disagree. You know, agree that you can do whatever you want at your house so long as it's not hurting other people. And yeah. I'm smoking right now. I also have a vape to hopefully quit the cigarette. I really wish Wiley would quit. But hey, it's not my battle to fight. He's respectful of it, and that's all I can ask. Smokers want to hang out right in front of the door, so if you go out to get air, it's not there, right? Mm-hmm. I gotta say, Amber and Wiley are pretty respectful about it, though. Love them, and hopefully they will turn to see the light. Amen, Eric. Yep. Amen. Arkansas, you have to be so far from a business entrance, right? But it's, while it's a law, it's not something that's heavily enforced. I mean, is the business owner really going to call and be like, this customer's out here smoking in front of my building? No. I gave up smoking many years ago. I am so glad that I never picked it up. My parents made me, we lived in the mountains, and every single time our parents would light up a cigarette when I was in the car and we were driving, I would get car sick every single time. Never failed. Threw up in the backseat every single time. It was awful. And that was enough to make me feel like I don't want to feel that way. I do not want to make myself sick. And I always felt like it stunk. I was embarrassed when I went to school and I smelled like cigarettes. I felt like kids picked on me for it. And it was enough to make me never want to start. Amen, girl Geo. Yeah. The ones who don't throw their butts on the grounds and the ones who dispose of them properly, right? Smoking is very addictive. I see why people smoke and can't stop. I was there once, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. They say smoking is harder. It's harder to quit smoking cigarettes than it is to quit heroin. Mom can't be around it either. We respect those who don't partake. Y'all are the lucky ones who never have or have been able to quit. We're definitely trying. Yeah. Wiley's thing is like, I don't know if anybody else would survive. So I get it. Hey, Sophia, how are you? I'm at work, but taking the lunch break and lucky me catching your live. Are you solo? Well, Amber was in here, but then she had to go finish breakfast for the kids. I started breakfast and almost had it done, and then realized that I used soured milk to make biscuits and gravy. So we had to make a second, which really stinks. So let's talk about something else. I smoked for many years and can't apologize to my daughter enough for making her go through that. She doesn't smoke. Smoking is almost as hard to quit as alcohol. Yeah.
Food is done.
Okay. All right. I thought you were bringing me some.
Do you want me to make you a plate?
Sure.
I just didn't know if you wanted to eat while you were on camera.
Probably not, but I will. Anxiety is my excuse. Notice I said excuse. Yeah. Yeah. My mom is almost 80 and just had to go through withdrawals from opioids the docs gave her. I pray for those out there in pain. Amen. Amen. I've seen opioids have ruined so many lives, and not just from the people who have taken the pills, but their families too. He's rolled said, I quit smoking in 2006. That is so awesome. Should try making bakes. That's a Caribbean delicacy. So guys, let's talk about freedom of speech. Emily made fried potatoes and sausage. I think there might be some scrambled eggs in there too. But anyway, so the reason I say it is because I was scrolling and I saw, shoot, I can't remember his name now. The guy that was Jimmy Kimmel. That's who it was. Coffee is my crutch. I agree. I love coffee. I especially love coffee creamer in my coffee. That's definitely a crutch. Yummy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So what is y'all's opinion on the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing?
I hope you wanted hot sauce.
Yes. You probably didn't put enough hot sauce on.
I probably didn't put enough hot sauce on mine either.
We're going to eat on camera.
Yeah.
Because when we are done with this live stream, Amber's going to make me do concrete.
Yes. Yes, I am.
She's evil.
I am very mean, and I'm happy to be of assistance.
Yeah. She enjoys being evil.
Especially to you.
Oh, thank you for bringing up Kimmel. Yeah, I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. Before I share mine, I want to hear y'all's opinion on it. Because it's affecting a lot more people than him. He's just the biggest name that it's affected, and so people are losing their ever-loving minds over it.
You want me to go grab more hot sauce?
Oh, you want to? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
She decides she don't have enough hot sauce either. He was a loser even before Charlie was. Yeah. If you free to say what you want, not free from consequences. His ratings were low anyway. Yes, they were. Jimmy Kimmel, there's a reason the Man Show didn't last long with him. You know, some say that he was kind of, I guess he had a second wife that was pretty out there. And they say that he got worse after they got married. I think they got married in like 2006. Honestly, I've never really watched late night shows. I remember watching like Saturday Night Live when they used to do like skits and stuff that were funny, but they're not funny anymore. But I agree with Callie Chaos. You're free to say what you want, but not free from consequences.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed that his right to free speech was taken when Charlie was so for free speech. I think Charlie would disapprove. So where I stand on it is that you're right. You do have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom from consequences. And when you say certain things, I mean, during Biden administration, people were standing up in, you know, they were losing their jobs for supporting Trump or for supporting conservative values. They were losing their jobs. Ultimately, I believe that, and if you read the First Amendment very closely, it says that the First Amendment is there to protect the government, protect you from the government. The government can't tell you what to say and what not to say. But when you do things, you are a reflection on your employer. And so your employer still has the right to do as they please, whether to keep you or fire you or whatever. I don't believe that Jimmy's freedom of speech was necessarily violated. I believe that there's consequences for celebrating that kind of rhetoric. I believe that in a day and age where so many companies are losing business because their employees are reflecting an attitude, or so to speak, that the majority of people don't agree with, they're losing a lot of money. A perfect example recently is Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel changed their logo. No big deal, right? But then it started getting out there that it was to, Cracker Barrel has been around for a long time. They've always been kind of a country, down to earth kind of place. I've never really been a fan of their food anyway. But an employer can choose to fire you if you reflect negatively on their business, especially in a time where people are voting with their wallets. I don't believe that he was canceled over what he's, well, I don't believe it was a freedom of speech thing. You don't have a freedom of speech when it comes to your employer. Because like I've said, your employer has the right to keep you or let you go regardless of, based on how you represent them. Just like a cashier somewhere. Or I don't know if you guys heard about the thing at Office Depot, but Office Depot refused to print material because they didn't agree with it. Like the employees didn't agree with it. It didn't go against the beliefs of the company or the standards of the company. But the employees made it seem that way. They got fired because now there's a lot of people that aren't going to go to Office Depot because those employees acted on their own and refused to serve a customer simply because they didn't agree with that customer's values. So, I think that if you look deeper into it, Girl Geo, there was nothing from the FCC that said that they had to be fired or that he had to be let go. There was a letter that came out from, ABC, that said that he was let go because he was a bad reflection on their business, not necessarily because of anything that the FCC did. However, since you guys want to bring that up, during the Biden administration, even Trump got kicked off of social media. He lost his X account. They shut down his bank accounts. All because he had differing views. What do you guys say about that? Because if you want to bring up the whole FCC thing being our government forcing him to be quiet, then let's talk about the Trump being censored, because conservatives were getting kicked offline. They were having their accounts blocked just because they didn't follow along with the mainstream narrative. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Because now social media like Facebook is actually coming out saying that the Biden administration forced them to censor conservatives. That is a violation of free speech. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that that's what's happening here. morning, dog catcher. How are you? Yeah, same. MAGA was like hollering fire in a movie theater as far as ABC was concerned, and mostly Disney. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of companies. I've chose not to support Disney or Bud Light or Target, or I mean, I didn't really go to Cracker Barrel anyway. But you know, I've chose not to support a lot of these businesses because of the stuff that they promote or the stuff that their employees promote. And that's your right as a consumer, is to spend your money where you see fit. And now, you know, and honestly, it's affected me now. Before I go make major purchases, I really try to do research about the company before I support them, because you know, I don't want my money going towards things that I don't stand for. They would have lost millions more than they are now. You know, let's see, Kimmel said the shooter was a MAGA kid, which is semi-true. He had MAGA parents. Definitely not a reason to be fired. Yes, but if you look at the details, he was not a MAGA kid. I mean, his parents, yes, his parents came from that. But I can honestly say that I've seen a lot of parents on more of the MAGA side, I guess, lose their kids to woke ideology. And I think that that is the case that happened in that case. I believe that his parents are decent people and their son got radicalized. Look at what Cracker Barrel did, you know? They lost millions, and I don't think there's any coming back from that. See, I like this. I like that we can all have different opinions, but then we can agree to disagree. That's how things need to be. Yeah, girl boss or girl Geo. I'm sorry that I said that wrong. But yeah, and I mean, it's your right to say, okay, well, now that these teenagers, this company isn't training these cashiers properly, I'm gonna take my business elsewhere, and you're free to do that. I don't think that Trump not liking Kimmel has anything to do with it. I think it was a decision made by his employer. I think his ratings were already low, and I think that he was not sharing the truth. He did say that, you know, as you pointed out, he did say that the kid was MAGA. But if you look at the kid's text messages, if you look at who his friends were, he was in a transgender relationship. He was not MAGA. Girl Geo, I think that if that was true, I'm replying to your comment that says that this was Trump's chance to make a play at Kimmel, and he has plans to remove anyone in the media who has other opinions. He started with a comedian. I don't think that's true, because if that were true, then he would not be allowing the mainstream media in to haggle him on Air Force One. He would not be allowing those reporters that he doesn't like, he openly doesn't agree with. I believe that if he was really trying to silence them, then he would not be allowing them in the press briefing room, and that's why they've opened up that new media seat, is to let other people come in. And I've seen conservative voices in there, and that is awesome. Whereas before, the Biden administration and previous administrations would not let anybody, essentially without an FCC license or whatever, to attend those meetings. I think that if he was really trying to censor that entire mindset or that entire opinion, that he would not allow them in those important meetings. Right, Eric? If you look at the past couple of administrations, particularly the Obama and Biden administration, even back to the Clinton administration, they've been working on censoring people for a long time. And it might even go back further than that. But that's just what I've noticed since I've been like voting age. I think that ABC firing Kimmel was them trying to basically cut ties so that they didn't lose more than they had to. Yeah. He forgot how to be a comedian. I haven't thought he was funny for a very long time. Life isn't perfect, and neither are any of us. God teaches us how to forgive, but instead Trump is teaching us how to hate each other. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like Trump's trying to teach us how to hate each other at all. And honestly, if you can be swayed that easily, then you need to, not you particularly, but people in general. I think that if you can be swayed into hating a person for what somebody else says about them, then it's on you to do your research. It's on you to, it is not, that's making an uninformed decision. That's not thinking critically. That's not thinking for yourself. When you just say, oh, I should hate this person because so-and-so hates this person. And that goes for my personal life too. When I hear negative things about somebody that I know from somebody else that I know, I don't hate anybody until they've done me wrong personally. So I never really watched Jimmy Kimmel because honestly, I haven't owned a TV in years. So, but being offended is a choice, and believing everything anybody says is not right. I believe that you should always look at both sides of the coin and come to your own conclusion.
Willow loves Eggies. I've been uploading this video since last night, Jen.
Oh, that sucks.
It's supposed to come out at noon.
Maybe you should cancel it and retry it. It's because you were up at your house and didn't have good service, I'm sure. Morning, Bill Clinton. Dude was in a relationship with a trans person. Yeah. If free speech was caused to be canceled or fired, then The View would have been pulled years ago. Amen, Helen. That is the best point I've seen so far. Because they 100% spew violence and hate and that kind of rhetoric. And yep, I believe that absolutely. That if that was the reason, then they would have been canceled a long time ago. Yeah, but just because his parents believe a certain way doesn't mean that the kids believe a certain way, and that's something that we're seeing a lot of. And honestly, we're even seeing that on the other side where kids have very liberal parents and they're coming out as conservatives. So your parents' beliefs do have somewhat of an effect on you, but as an adult, I don't believe that kids should be judged by their parents. So there's a lot of people out there who have drug addicted families or parents that are in prison for, making bad choices, but they're good people. So Cali Chaos, I believe that The View is filled with hate. Everything I've heard them say in the last several years especially has been divisive and trying to make put victimhood out there and make certain people sound better than other people, and it's because of their political beliefs, not because of actually who they are. And I don't think that's right. The View is next. If ABC decided to cancel The View because of their rhetoric, I would not be against that. I do not believe that it is the administration's job to cancel shows, but if the broadcaster, if the business chooses to fire employees, that is their right to do so. A life piece together. Good morning. Aside from Jimmy Kimmel, though, because a lot of other people have also lost their jobs for celebrating murder, basically. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that those employers should have the right to fire employees that make their business look bad?
I think that employers have the right to fire you over anything that they feel makes their company look bad. That could be celebrating somebody's murder, or having your hair dyed, or tattoos, or on your,
Girl, Geo, that is a good point. Kimmel will create his own platform, and this bill will propel him. It will, but I just don't think that he didn't have his ratings were pretty low, so I don't think that it's going to have the impact that some people think it will. And I think that he did lose a lot of people at the end of it because of how he didn't share the whole truth. Callie Chaos, I do not believe that President Trump is fueling hate either. I think there's a fine line. I think there's a line between fueling hate and speaking facts and calling out evil for what it is. Tease World, I agree. I think that there's a lot of stuff that gets said on the airwaves and nothing's done about. But I don't know enough to be able to call those things out specifically. And again, the First Amendment is to protect citizens from the government censoring them. It's not to protect them from consequences of what they say. So viewers can still decide not to watch if you say something that they don't like. Just like if I say something here that you disagree with, you can click off, keep scrolling, go on, and never have to listen to me again. But I think it's important to have discussions like this so that we can either agree to disagree, we can, talk things out, because open discourse is important. Girl Geo, I don't believe that was true either. Wasn't the Trump shooter the kid of a heavily MAGA father? I could be wrong, but I don't know. Eric. Tease World, yeah, I don't like The View. I don't like those ladies' attitudes. I don't like what they stand for. So I choose not to watch. If I wanted to support them, I would watch. But you know what? I choose to spend my time differently and not to watch things like that. Stanley, I agree. Something big is coming and it is going to surprise everybody. And I'm just hoping that my kids are not harmed in it. There's too big of a female left base to cancel The View. You're probably right, Helen.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on here that are saying that he does come from a proud magazine.
And then again, kids go off to college and get radicalized. They get radicalized through servers like Discord and Reddit and stuff, and playing video games and things. And recently, there's been news come out about how, I think it's Minecraft or Roblox or one of those big ones, where there was a kid, maybe from Washington or something, that exposed child predators on the app. The kid got banned from the app, and I believe the company sued him for exposing said child predators. That's backwards. He was a comedian. Comedy isn't about truth. I agree with that. I can agree with that. Right. And so say, on another note, there was a anesthesiologist that came out and was celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder and was saying that he was just the first in line of many conservatives that, are going to go. How do you guys feel about that specifically? Should she have been fired or no? Do you think that if she had found out that you were conservative, that she would have treated you differently? Honest question. Amen, girl, Gio. We don't have to see eye to eye on everything. I love having a talk back and forth, especially with people who can use their words, articulate their thoughts, and we don't have to agree on everything. And again, I try to choose my words wisely, because my goal isn't to divide people or push people away or be a jerk. Kim, you're busy. It's okay. It's all right. Having a hard time eating my breakfast because, yeah. Sheila. There might still be some good ones on the other side. I don't know. I think they're just the ones that haven't changed their mind yet. The dog catcher, I do believe I remember hearing something about that, about how both of his parents were therapists. Of course, Amber was Googling it, and Google obviously has a one-sided opinion. So I trust Google when it gives me like a recipe on how to make a cake. I do not trust it when it provides information to important questions like that. Girl, Gio, so if you were in his shoes, how would you feel? Because if you look at the last 4 years, or last 6 years, 8 years, I don't even know how long it's been going on. And all of the things that they put him through, he was only, I don't know how to say this. They put him through a lot. And he may not be as Christian as Erica Kirk and be able to forgive his trespassers or whatever. I don't believe he's a hater. I believe that he's very upset and very done with the people who have criminalized him while they and their donors got away with the same exact thing. I mean, if you look at Letitia James is a perfect example because she tried to get him for, what was it, like, basically devaluing his property. So in order to secure a loan is what the bottom line was. And Donald Trump has done business with these banks for years. They've always gotten their money back from him with interest. They were happy about it. But the thing that was given is his Mar-a-Lago property. When you look into the details of it, the judge in that case, or whoever decided the value of the property, there were condos in that area that were valued at what that professional said Mar-a-Lago was. Mar-a-Lago is beachfront property. It's a historical site. It's, immaculately can't talk, maintained. It's a very, very high piece of property, but somehow it was being valued the same as a 2-bedroom condo down the road. Something that I know from being a property owner is that the assessed value on your tax sheet is not necessarily what your property is worth. It is not what it would sell for. When you buy a house, you do not pay the assessed value, because that is not I don't know exactly how all of those numbers work out, but you do not, the assessed value is not the same value as what it would sell for. And I don't know if Kim's actually a realtor. Maybe she can kind of give us a little bit of insight on how that works. But yeah. I try to be a forgiving person, but I gotta say that if I had been put through half of the stuff that Trump was put through over the last 10 years or whatever, I'd be mad about it too. Amen, Eric. Yeah, I would sure want to know if my doctor hated my political views before he medicated me. Right. Or put you under the knife. Yeah. Amen, Callie Chaos. Even though I don't agree, I do not want anybody to be hurt. I do not wish that on anybody. Yeah, right. And T's World said that, yes, that anesthesiologist should have been fired because nobody deserves to die like that because of your beliefs, right? Yeah, don't talk politics at the doctor's office. Or bring something up and kind of bait them, bring something up and see how they respond to it. And if they aren't on your same level, find a different doctor, because, it's easy. I heard a story one time. Our daughter Emily and Wiley really like watching this guy named Mr. Ballin. And he's a former Marine, and now he tells like true crime stories. And he was talking about an old man who he had to have surgery for something, and he ended up, the anesthesiologist, there's a couple different parts to the pain medicine. One takes away the pain so you can't feel anything. There's another one that puts you to sleep, and then there's like another part of it that makes it so you can't move, basically. And so the anesthesiologist had given this guy the one that makes it so you can't move, but he woke up during his surgery. And this is a true story. He woke up during his surgery. He could feel everything, but he couldn't move. All he could do was open his eyes. And the doctors were almost done with his surgery before they realized that he was awake and could feel everything. I'm not saying that case was on purpose or on accident. I do not know the details of that, but that it was awful. And that man suffered after he recovered. He had nightmares. I think he ended up taking his own life, maybe because he couldn't outlive the memory of that. And that's not right. It is not right to be treated differently, especially in the sense of healthcare, because of how you believe. haven't watched that portion of the thing, Helen, so I have no idea. Oh, I guess that was taken out of context. I don't know because I haven't watched that part of the speech. So I don't have any proof to prove either way that he had messed with the listed values of his property. All I know is that he had worked with these banks before. He'd always paid it back with interest. The banks didn't have a problem loaning to him, and there was nobody hurt from it, is my understanding. And this is unfortunately something that people exploit all the time. They just went after him for it to make an example out of him, I guess. Eric said there were homes that were valued twice as much as they valued the golf course and country club. It was so out of front, but still convicted, right? Whoops. Oops, dang it. I messed it all up. Okay. Leslie, hey, how are you today? I believe that is his intention. They all made profits too, and they testified to it. They were happy about the profits they were making. My doctor is independent, and we talk more politics than my health. He leans right. Well, then at least you know in your specific case, Eric, that you're in the clear. So, and it's funny because now Letitia James in particular, she's being investigated for mortgage fraud, doing the very same thing that she prosecuted Trump for. She had a property, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said before, I don't always have all the details. And then I don't always articulate it correctly. I don't always give all of the information. I just, sometimes I'm wrong. But she has a property that she claimed as her primary residence so that she would get a better tax rate or something on it when she knowingly wasn't living there or whatever. Girl Geo, I didn't watch every minute of it, so I don't know. I just know that Trump's been doing business for a really, really long time, and he's always paid his loans. Yeah. Politics should not be brought up in healthcare. Yeah, because never mind, I won't say that. I was pretty sure that the Letitia James case was still going on. Or maybe it was the Fannie Willis one. I don't remember. But he was certainly being attacked from all angles. And it's hard to deny that that some of the Democrats, could be wrong, but I believe it was Maxine Waters or whatever, was basically saying that everybody needed to attack him and his supporters, and that was okay. You have a good point, Helen. Yeah, if there's a lot of falsehoods and about Trump's wealth and his character, if anything was truthful or illegal, why wasn't these witnesses coming forward prior to 2015? Just saying. Yeah. Yeah, everyone wants their nose in everyone else's business. Yep. Yep. And unfortunately, it's extra easy these days because everybody puts everything online. So, for Facebook, for example, people are posting on Facebook what they're having for dinner every single night, or where they're going to be tomorrow, or, the argument that they just had with their husband. And they're just some things that you shouldn't share online, If you don't want your nose, if you don't want people's noses in your business, then keep to yourself. And even that can be hard sometimes because you still have friends that are going to be nosy, or neighbors that are going to be nosy, or family members that are going to be nosy. But you can significantly reduce the amount of noses in your business if you just keep to yourself. All I know is that we have a lot of corrupt people on both sides. And I would like to see some accountability for people that are breaking the law. Like the actual laws that are already on the books. I don't want to see new laws being created to prevent people from doing things. I want to see that I want to see those that have been doing it for a long time face some consequences. And I'm not speaking of anybody in particular on either side or the other, because I understand that there's people on both sides that are bad and have bad intentions, and it's hard to deny, no matter what side you're on, that our representatives aren't necessarily representing us. I just saw something that there's a investigation into members of Congress, maybe, for basically selling our information and selling us out, and being bought by leaders of other nations. And when you are being bought by someone, it's no longer you standing up for what you believe in, it's you standing up for what your financiers are telling you to stand up for. Politics and healthcare are already in bed with the pharmaceutical lobby buying control over Congress. Yeah. Yep. That's one thing that I will stand on, is I don't think that our politicians should be, I think that there should be term limits, and I think that there should be I don't know the right words, but basically, you shouldn't be able to bribe our politicians. Like, there should be a cap on, I heard somewhere that they were talking about maybe doing like a $3,000 cap on lobbying or something like that. You're a lot less likely to sway from your morals and beliefs over $3,000 than you are over a few $1 million. A few $1 million, like, everybody's got their price, And for people in that position, I don't think that $3,000 is worth it, But explain to me how Nancy Pelosi made 100 and some odd grand a year salary and became a multi-millionaire or billionaire. I don't even know, but she made a lot of money. There's a lot of people in our government, I believe, that need to be looked into on both sides, who've gotten rich while serving our country. Because even if they saved every single cent of their paycheck, never spent a single penny, it would take them hundreds of years to make that kind of wealth. I don't think that our politicians should be allowed to trade stocks either, because you can't deny that some of them are using their insider information to get rich. And I don't believe that's okay either. I think that Cali Chaos, I think that there's people that are radicalized on both sides that are way far out there. I think the majority of people are in the middle, to the side of the middle, either way, just a little bit. I think that's where the majority of people are. And then there's these small factions that are like way the heck out here on both sides. And they're all crazy. They're all crazy. Right, Helen, that's a good point too. And with the creation of AI, it brings up a lot of things, because it's hard to decipher what's true and what's not. Especially since it's getting so good at making hyper realistic images and stuff. The hyper realistic images are almost just look like very finely edited, finely tuned photos. And it's really hard to tell what is the truth. So it's really hard to, and then, it's not like you can just Google something, because if you Google something and you're on the left, it's probably going to give you Whenever I look up news stories, the first things that pop up on Google are always CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all of those main ones, and it doesn't show me the other side of the story. And that is really what got me into looking into politics and stuff, is because I'm like, why am I only being presented with one side of the story? If the other side is so bad, show me what they have to say too. Because when you look back in history, of course, the victors are always the ones who get to write the history books. But do you ever stop and wonder what led up to that point, or what the other side had to say about it? Why they were fighting against it or for it? Do you ever stop and think about that? Nail, meathead. Jen just nailed it. Politicians are in it for themselves, not for you. I believe that a lot of them get into it for the right reason. They're like, I want to change the world and blah, blah, blah. But then they get in and I've heard stories of lobbyists. So, for example, I don't know who it was about or if it was true or whatever, but this was the example that was given, is that a male politician is sitting at the bar. He's having a drink, watching the football game or whatever, and then a really, really pretty young woman comes and sits next to him. And then she's like, listen, you're going to take me to your room, or I'm going to tell everybody that you did such and such. And I feel like some of them are blackmailed. Some of them are bribed by saying, hey, if you, vote this way on this bill, we'll give you a kickback and you'll get a couple $1 million from it. Or we'll give you this house in this fancy place or whatever. Or we'll make sure that your kids never have to worry about anything, or whatever it may be. It's definitely not right. Callie Chaos, I'm an independent also. And I am proud to say that I am an independent. What? I didn't know to get $100 to 520s took an ID at my bank till last week. But you don't have to provide an ID to vote. Make that make sense. I mean, some places you do, but that's been common sense since my time. Why my parents never voted. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Nomadic Hooker, how's it going? I talk about God at the doctors. It seems that is the better choice in all things. Yep. I mean, and I kind of understand. I don't really understand a lot about, like, you go to the doctor and you fill out the paperwork and they ask you what religion you identify with. And I never really understood that until, because I'm like, why are you going to treat me differently based on my religion? But I guess different religions have different beliefs. Like the hospital that Amber had her baby at here, I believe, is a Catholic hospital, and they don't believe in sterilization. So even if you want to get your tubes tied, or your husband wants to get a vasectomy, they do not do those kinds of surgeries because it is against the Catholic religion. So I kind of get that. But that doesn't mean that they say, like, they know other doctors in the area that will perform those procedures. They just don't do them at their hospital. Right, Nomadic Hooker. That's a good point that I didn't mention, is that not only insider info, they can lobby and pass laws to make certain stocks lose or gain too. Yes, that is something that I didn't think of. Yeah. Trump 2020, I believe that the Democrats used to be something that they are not today. And I believe that especially the ones that have been radicalized, are evil. Yeah. Yeah, look what Dick Cheney did for Halliburton, right? See, Callie Chaos and Girl Geo just came to an agreement. Talking God to doctors is a good thing. See, we can agree to disagree or agree on things or whatever. There was actually laws about presidents not having their businesses. Our current guy doesn't take doesn't care. He doesn't just trade stock. He created a currency. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know enough about that to, I feel like, have an informed opinion on it. So I'm not going to. Not that I'm trying to avoid your question or statement or anything. I just don't know enough about it. And I don't want to sound stupid. Yeah, that's why we start following news networks from other countries, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what your comment's supposed to mean, pneumatic hooker. Change your notifications. Although I don't agree with what a lot of the mainstream media says and does, I do tend to, when I want to learn about a specific subject, I try to see it from all points of view perspectives so that I can make my, so that I can come to my own conclusion. Yeah, Eric, that makes a good point. Yeah. Eric said, look at our governor, our old governor, I guess. That was before I moved here or before I was paying attention to it. But he served 6 terms on $10,000 annual salary, built the largest home in Arkansas at the time when heat and air was almost $100,000 on that salary of 10 grand. Yeah, that's not, the numbers just don't add up. And I'm not just talking about girl math. Those numbers are way off. Helen, I don't know about that either. I don't know if he turned over his businesses or whatever. I'm not sure. I haven't studied that enough to know. Rob has always said that the Democratic views and the Republican views have flipped. Yeah, I've heard that too. My older sister, he's hard. I'm more patient than my other family. Yeah. I can see where that would cause issues, Cali Chaos, because I bet it seems at some points that nobody's in agreement with you. Because one side is so far one way and one side is so far the other way, and you're like, girls, you're both pretty. I know the difference between a boy and a girl. I agree. Yep. Yeah, girl Gio, I don't, and I that's why I keep repeating myself and saying that correct me if I'm wrong or enlighten me or because I don't have all the information. Like I said before, I do not have time to sit and go down all of these rabbit holes and find the end of them. Because generally, I'm blonde, y'all. If you couldn't tell, I'll go down one rabbit hole and it'll lead to another rabbit hole and another rabbit hole, and by the end of it, I don't get to the bottom of nothing. I just come across a whole bunch of different theories. So when something really strikes my interest, though, I try to deep dive into it the best I can. And even then, you never know if you have all of the information because it's not like we're all presented with the same. You have to admit that the internet knows you, knows how you think, knows what you believe, and it only provides information to feed into that. You don't often see all sides of it. So, growing up in the 70s through the 90s, I was led to believe the Democrats were for the working people. Now it's flipped, right? Trump has part and Donald Trump has the other part. I don't know about the businesses and stuff like that. That hasn't been a rabbit hole that I've ventured down yet. But yeah, back in the, I don't know. I guess Amber decided not to come back. That's okay. If I hang out with you guys long enough, I don't have to help with concrete. I hope she's got the boys out there helping her with it, though. I was reading something about sure that not his fault. He thought of that first. The I think that the term "Make America Great Again" is for the American people. I believe that in general, the Americans don't want everything so divided. We want representatives that will actually represent us and not stand for, I feel like at this point that a lot of our representatives fight harder for people who shouldn't even be here or people in other countries than they do for the people who elected them. I believe that the American people want lower gas prices, they want the price of food to go down. They don't want rent to be so high or car insurance. They want to be able to survive on a single income again, where mom can stay home and or maybe mom wants to work, but I believe that should be up to each family. But we're at the point now where even with 2 jobs, you cannot survive. I mean, even people where both husband and wife or both partners work full-time jobs, it's still a very, very hard time to get by. And yeah, I think you're right. I think we got too political for Amber. She gets bored with it. She doesn't give 2 crap about politics. Yeah, pneumatic hooker. I don't know when it flip flopped, but it flip flopped somewhere along the line. But I gotta say that even I don't vote. I'm not a registered Republican either because I see the rhinos for who they are. The rhinos aren't any better than like AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Or Adam Schiff or those guys. They are not any better. They're all getting rich together. There was a thing on the Doge website that came out a while back that was talking about politicians that have taken money from big pharma or politicians that had, I can't remember exactly what it was, but long story short, they were both benefiting. Both sides were benefiting. Now, not every single name was on there, but there's so many in there that need to be replaced by somebody that actually represents the values of their district. Who is closer? Wait, what was that? To my views and what will affect me less. I want less, right. I want less government too. I don't want the government in my business. And even though I would probably qualify for food stamps, I don't apply because guess what? I don't want the government in my business. So if we have to go to the doctor, we will go private pay. If it's an emergency, we will go to the emergency room. And then worry about how we're going to pay the bill later. Oh, that's telling me I think that my inverter might be dead. Why is it not charging? Hang on a second. Hey, Hunter. Or Nathan. Somebody go make sure my phone is dead. Hurry, go. The 12 outside. Go make sure my cords are cooking. Well, if the battery goes dead, I'm going to lose Wi-Fi, and that means that we're not going to be able to talk anymore. So, we'll just keep going until it finally runs out. Turn off everything I can. Keep it going a little bit longer. All right, guys, I guess can y'all see me? I guess we're back on, there we go, now it's plugged in. One of the kids probably tripped over the cord or something and unplugged it, or one of the dogs probably unplugged it. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I hope we have lots of viewers from this, because all of the money that we make from this channel is going instead in projects. I don't know how that's on here. I better get off. I think that's probably a sign, guys. Yeah. Oh, so she's on 45 before she's gonna hit the road again. Fan off. It is hot. My phone keeps going in and out. So I guess I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to end the live stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be going live on Mondays around 10:30 or 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time if y'all want to join us again. And again, I really appreciate you guys for being able to have a conversation while not agreeing on everything and being respectful. I think that is the most important thing